Just talk
Are you
as soon
ready?
as you hit the button. Works out great.
All right. Hey now! It's your boy PSA Sitch here with another Tuesday stream with everyone's favorite Game of Thrones and House of Dragons enthusiast, Adam
Already,
Trended.
already off topic.
Okay,
Already, already
okay,
off
okay.
topic.
With everyone's favorite
Uh-huh.
lover of the Jews, Adam Friend.
I
That
got no
better?
problem. My co-host is Jewish. So, I mean, obviously, I don't have any problem with the chosen people.
That's
But
right. We have to throw out that I have the Jewish immunity idol right in the beginning of the stream.
well, I mean,
So
I live in Los Angeles. I have tons of Jewish friends. It's funny in this talk. I mean, Kanye just goes insane,
yeah.
and one of the guys, seems to realize. I mean, we've talked. He's like we've talked about the Jews for like 3 hours now. It's
hmm
like this might not look good, and evidently they took this podcast down. I think this is like an
This is a
upload from.
re-upload, yeah.
Yeah, so they're distancing themselves from this. The podcast is Drink Champs, and it's an interview with Kanye West. Kanye West is, I mean, just I
Going
mean,
off,
is
popping
he
off.
is he a lot of his complaining in here is that people are misjudging him as being crazy. Now, are we going to get lumped into that? I mean, I feel like maybe he is crazy.
Well, it's interesting because I listened to most of this. I didn't finish it because like 3 hours,
Hmm.
but I listened to most of it, and my impression of it is that yes, Kanye is, he has it feels like he has very disordered thinking, that he is
Hmm.
bipolar. You can feel like he's in a manic spiral at the moment, and the thing that kind of caught me that I was surprised by was obviously you have to say, okay, Kanye West is, one of the richest people in America. He's one of the most popular musicians of all time. He has all these companies, that do all this business and clothing lines, all this other stuff. So you'd think this has to be a very like intelligent, sophisticated person. When you hear him give his takes on like the world and society, he gives such simplistic, unsophisticated like views of everything. Like he just sounds like
Yeah.
some random guy on the street that you just ask these questions to. And so I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if this is just who he is, if this is because he's in a manic spiral. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if you were friends with Kanye and you could kind of chart the trajectory of him over a number of years. Because,
hmm
yeah, maybe he was on it at one time and now he's just, his family's broken apart and he's had some kind of split with
Right.
reality. I have no idea. But it's weird to me that he's taught. Obviously, he's talking to some people behind the scenes. He mentions a lot of people. He mentions like
Right.
Candace Owens. I think is talking to him quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't who is I don't who is talking to him, and I doubt. I mean, Candace Owens seems sophisticated enough that she's not
She's
talking
not talking
to
to him about the Jewish question.
about the JQ. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's so weird because everybody has tried to paint Trump as a Nazi, and
hmm
Trump, Kanye West famously supported Trump and did a visit to the White House and everything, and really threw his support to Trump quite a bit. And now you have Kanye West out there just basically talking about the problem with the Jews. I mean, this does sound like JQ type material. He's talking about how Jews
hmm
run the media and control black people, and I mean, it's just kind of weird, crazy shit.
Right. Well, I mean, he also said, yeah, even though I don't like or agree with Candace Owens, she is an intelligent person. When you hear her talk, you're like, oh, she has like a sophisticated understanding of things, even if I disagree with her understanding. And I think she's very partisan. So yeah,
You just cut out for
I
a
don't think
second.
she's the one pushing Kanye, obviously, on the Jewish question stuff. But he did say that he's talking to Ice Cube and Louis Farrakhan. And so I'm
Oh,
assuming that's where all the
Farrakhan.
JQ stuff is coming from.
Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. So
Right.
Farrakhan has his ear.
Right. Well, and also, I mean, and he said it sounded like he was talking to Nick Cannon too, who believes all that like
Right. Yeah.
Nation of Islam, Yaqub's crap anyway. So
So is it convincing when Kanye says, I know I'm talking shit, but I am
wait,
Jewish.
hold on, I'm
So
not plugged in. I got cut off.
yeah, you cut out for a second there with us, so
Okay.
I thought it might be a plugged in situation. Is it convincing when Kanye says I have the immunity idol because I am in fact Jewish and so I'm
No,
allowed to
no. Well, the problem is that no one asked him this. It doesn't make any sense. He keeps saying, "I'm Jewish because all black people are Jewish," but then he says that he's Christian, and then
Right.
he keeps talking about the Jews like other Jews, like as like white Jews, as if they're
Right.
different from him. So he doesn't even lay out a consistent worldview. You don't know what he's talking about.
All right. Well, let's jump into some of this craziness.
Okay.
Is because like didn't like that's how you became a billionaire, right? Through the Yeezy. So like what was the discrepancy with Adidas?
I just didn't have the relationships with the factories at that time, and I was managing a lot of ideas. Like I was a new dad. I was newly married. I had a bunch of team, like a big team of designers with me, and we hadn't established who we were. We were still fighting to get our respect in fashion. So there's a lot of fights at the same time. So we had to go and basically like intern almost up under these companies.
Because you interned for Louis Vuitton at one time,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
Louis Vuitton, Fendi, and we interned in a way at Adidas. I like the licensing deal is my intern to become, more in that Bernard Arnault, Bezos,
Right.
Elon territory, and just understanding how to, how money works. Like this is first generation. Like you can say, like look at like Jay with the Duce.
Right.
This is first generational
Right.
wealth.
Right.
And
This
learn
is-
those infrastructures, right?
yeah, the infrastructure is how to do a factory. Even right now, like when I left Gap, I moved, we made this t-shirt, like all the tremendous stuff we're doing right now, which is a flip on Supreme, where the guy that used to work for me, Tremaine, is now at Supreme. And, we can go further into that a little
Okay,
bit later.
later,
But
no
for the
problem.
main point is, so I took it over to Dove Charney at LA Apparel, and he founded Los Angeles Apparel. So then we made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEF CON tweet, nah, he ain't releasing the tee because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making. Like Jewish people have owned the black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt, or it's all of us being signed to a record label, or having a Jewish manager, or being signed to a Jewish basketball team, or doing a movie on a Jewish platform like Disney. And we understand it's like, I respect what the Jewish people have done and how they brought their people together. They came into money through the lawyers.
Wait, okay. Let me pause it for a second. First of all, I don't know I didn't know Disney was a Jewish platform, so that's news to me. But so what happened if you didn't follow, which is kind of fascinating. We talked about this on Sunday a little bit, is that Kanye comes out with King of Stones. He's wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirt. And all the conservatives think that it means something. They think it's like an anti-Black Lives Matter t-shirt, even though that's not really what Kanye meant by it. And I think he talked about it somewhat in this interview. He meant it in kind of like a Black Panther way, like his father was saying. He meant it like, oh, it's a joke because obviously white lives matter because we live in a white dominated society. So he actually meant it in kind of a leftist way, which is interesting. But it's funny because he gets some like presumably some conservative Jewish, company or a conservative Jewish guy who runs this shirt company to make the White Lives Matter t-shirt because he's planning to fucking sell them, which is hilarious. And then he puts up his going DEF CON on Jews tweet, and the guy's like, I'm not gonna release your shirts now. What the fuck?
Right.
And Kanye's all in like a piss about it.
Well, the Jewish guy feels attacked, obviously. So that's why
Yes,
yeah.
obviously. What the fuck? Well, it's first of all, it's hilarious that there's some like again, there's a Jewish conservative guy who's all like he's all on board to do the White Lives Matter t-shirt, which black people feel like that it's attacking them, right?
Yes, I know. The irony here is
Right.
very, very
Exactly.
thick.
Right. And then it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. Now that you're attacking my
Right.
people, no, you don't
Right.
get the shirt.
When we were attacking your people, everything was cool. Now that you're attacking my people, let's not do the shirt. Yeah.
I was like, I thought this was hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When after Wall Street, when all of the like the Catholics, they wouldn't divorce people.
Right.
So the
Right.
Jewish lawyers came and they were willing to divorce people. That's when they first came into their money. So like say
Okay, I've never heard this before in my life.
Yeah.
I don't
What
know.
is this? Farrakhan nonsense?
I don't know. Like I've heard like in the Middle Ages, okay, the myth, the
Right.
theory is, I don't know if this is ever true. I've never researched this. The myth is that in like the Middle Ages, because the church was against usury, which is, loaning money with interest, basically a lot of Jews were able to make money because Jews were the only people, the only bankers that could actually loan money. Because
Right.
obviously, if you're a Christian and you can't charge interest, there's no reason to ever be a banker ever for any purpose.
Right. Yeah.
And so supposedly that's the myth of why, Jews became rich in that time period. I've never heard this story that Jewish lawyers in America became rich through being the only people that would divorce people. I don't know what. First of
Yeah.
all, and he says the Catholics want to do it. First of all, the majority of Christians in America are not Catholic. They're Protestant.
Right.
So I don't know why this would give the Jews an access point to being wealthy. Like, doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And like conservative Jews are not really big on divorce either. So I never heard this before in my life.
with me and Jay, with our culture, with the darker Jews. First of all, because you got
It just happens when anybody start talking deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the darker Jews, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, who we are, because we Jewish also. We from Africa also. We're the blood of Christ. So we're not just black. We are Jew, just like the Jewish people. And now we're coming into money. But the main thing is,
So, like, according to more normative Jewish thoughts, it's believed that one of the lost tribes of Israel is black. Not all of them, one of them.
Okay.
And so, but this is why, and it's annoying, and this bothers me, because whenever he's in these conversations, or the two times he's been in these conversations so far, which was with Tucker Carlson and now with these guys, no one asks him to explain what he's talking about.
Yeah, because they're just shitting their pants that he's saying all this shit. I think they want him to stop so badly.
Yeah, but why? I mean, I don't know. Is that it? Is it just because the people that are just, they're such big fans of Kanye, they're just too afraid to ask him, like, well, what do you mean all 12 tribes of Jews were black people? What does that even mean?
Well, they're totally friends with him. Like, so
Right.
they're worried that some probing question is going to make the problem even worse, which it probably is, to
Right,
be honest
right.
with you. But I'm with you. I would want to go down this path, but obviously they don't want to go down this path. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the only time well, it's weird because I don't think Kanye subscribes to the Nation of Islam specifically. He keeps saying he's a Christian throughout this conversation.
Right.
The Nation of Islam is obviously not Christian. But the only like theory I've ever heard about, like the quote unquote Jews are all black, is the Black Hebrew Israelites / Nation of Islam theory, which is that at some point in recent history, like 10,000 years ago or something, all people in the entire world were black. And then essentially you have, Yakub or Jacob comes in and he makes a decision that he wants to create a race of people to take over the world. And he does this by basically selectively breeding people that are evil. And, oh, wouldn't you know it? If you selectively breed people to be evil, it's associated with the phenotype of having lighter skin.
Yeah, it's just like the domesticated dogs thing. It's like they get floppy
Exactly.
they get floppy ears and waggy tails, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then they come up with this theory that basically everyone that's not black was genetically bred through these experiments, and obviously the lighter your skin color is, the more evil you are.
Wow.
And then Yakub or whoever, because I think he died during the course of the experiments, sends out his non-black races to go conquer the world. And essentially, this is like why they say the whole like we was kings concept is that the Nation of Islam people will claim, at least the ones that believe this. Some of the Nation of Islam people are just normal Islamic, but the people that believe this sort of conspiracy stuff, what they're saying is that their claim is that all the countries in the entire world, okay, so all the countries in Europe, all the countries in Asia, and in North and South America, they were all societies that were run and built exclusively by Black people originally, and at some point in history, non-Black people came, invaded, and basically killed all the Black people off and absorbed their culture and then pretended like it was theirs the whole time. Which obviously is completely insane, and there's like no evidence that any of this ever happened. But
something weird is going on with my computer. So
what's going on?
I don't know. It might crash on me. Who knows?
Well, we'll be back if it crashes. So.
Had to drink the Douce over the Hennessy as the first step to us coming together, like how the Jewish people came together. But we couldn't even talk about. I remember Ben Horowitz called me after 444 and said, "I don't know about Jay giving up Jewish business secrets." And these secrets,
we was talking about building up the properties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
on 444.
These secrets they not finna be a secret no more. Like if somebody tells me something, it's like, "Yo, I want to tell you this, but it's a secret." I'm like, I'm not.
I like that. If you're bothered that we would talk about Kanye saying like weird conspiracy stuff about the Jews, you're free to leave forever from the channel.
Who's upset about
There was
that?
one person in the chat who's like, "Oh my God, I'm subbing from your channel." It's like, yeah, good riddance. Get out of here.
Why? I mean, this is
Because they're obviously some kind of crazy anti-Semite, and they want to believe in all the anti-Jewish conspiracy theories, though.
Oh, you think that's it? I mean, did they say
Yeah.
that?
Well, that would be my implication for someone outraged that we're covering this topic.
That's your personal hard
I
drive.
mean, I really
Like,
don't
if
know
you
how
wanna
to
be a-
respond to that.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny.
Look, does this make? I mean, this is a weird situation. If Kanye is running in 2024, has he really locked down the JQ vote here? I mean,
Right.
what's going on?
Well, that's what's funny too is that he's saying this like he's going to run for president, and you're like, really? He thinks he has a ghost farts in hell chance of winning after this?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, and he equates it to what Trump did. I was like, do you think you're helping Trump here? I mean, he basically says that the Jewish media is what took Trump out.
Right.
And that Trump had to fight against the Jewish media. And now he's fighting against the Jewish media too because he wants to win in 2024. And I mean, I don't recall Trump talking about the Jewish media.
No.
Maybe it's me.
Well,
yeah.
It's funny because I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and they're very like anti-Trump,
Right.
and so they're like, you know how Trump made his tweet that we talked about on Sunday, where he was like, "Oh, Jewish people should vote for me because I'm good for Israel," blah 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "Oh, Kanye said something anti-Semitic, so then Trump had to one-up him and be anti-Semitic." And I was like, no. You don't understand at all. You have it completely backwards. Kanye, who was coming out very pro-Trump and has been associated with Trump, says something anti-Semitic. So Trump has to come out and say, like, "I love the Jews. I love the Jews." Like, this is Trump trying to protect himself from the anti-Semitic accusation. You have it completely backwards.
Did Trump come out and make a statement?
The one that we talked about, that tweet, or not, it was a True Social post that he put out on Sunday. So he hasn't made a direct comment about this.
Okay.
But it's 100%, like, I would imagine that the reason he made that comment was because he knows that since Kanye is going to get hit with the anti-Semitic stick, he has to like defend himself preemptively on that one.
Kanye is taking Trump down right now. Yeah. Well, this is, I mean, Candace Owens has to be watching this just mortified.
Oh, I'm sure she's like, "No, Kanye,
Because
you were the chosen one."
yeah, exactly.
Chosen one.
She's been trying to get Kanye to be a spokesperson for Trump for forever. I'm sure Candace is probably still talking to Trump directly,
Yeah.
often,
Yeah, I
especially
bet.
about his presidential run in 2024. Now, not only is Kanye running himself in 2024, he's totally harpooned Trump's campaign before it's even off the ground.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is not good for anyone.
Gone. I love Israel. Gone. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, that's what Kanye should just see. I would, even though I don't agree with what he's saying, at least I'd find it a funny meme if he wore the Killua shirt.
Secret, don't tell me. I'm not here to keep nobody's secrets because it's only the truth that's going to set us free. And what they do is the Jewish community, especially in the music industry, they'll take, in the entertainment period, they'll take one of us, the brightest of us, right, that can really feed a whole village, and they'll take us and milk us till we die, and then Stevie Wonder's son got to get a job, right? But Cameron Azoff got a job at Apple. He's already set up because of the way Azoff is connected, and we have to make our own connections. That's what I saw. What I loved about it, I love Dove just as a human being.
And this is the guy from Adidas?
Dove is from American Apparel.
Okay.
But I'm talking about put out my White Lives Matter tee. The White Lives Matter tee don't say nothing. It don't say DEF CON or nothing on it, right? I'm like, put it out. And he's telling me like, yo, I want you to visit the Holocaust Museum. And I was like, yo, I want you to visit Planned Parenthood. That's our Holocaust Museum.
Mic drop.
So this is a lot of Jews are really, really stupid, which makes sense because 99% of the population is really, really stupid. But I can't imagine, like, if I knew Kanye and he put out his DEFCON 3 tweet or whatever. I mean, first of all, I'd be like, what do you? I feel like I could have like an actually intelligent conversation with him. I'd be like, what do you mean by that? Like, what are you talking about? I wouldn't just be like, you should go visit the Holocaust Memorial. I was like, oh my God, shut up, please. It's like, that's the most irrelevant thing you could tell someone. If they have some like thoughts about the Jewish question or something, like, oh yeah, go visit the Holocaust Museum. Like, come on, Bubby, what are you doing here? Having an intelligent conversation with Kanye.
The tweet says, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone whoever opposes your agenda. So that's the tweet that he keeps referencing.
And it's funny too, and I bet I'm curious because I know that when that post first came out, well, first of all, Twitter and Instagram are idiots. So he puts that tweet and that post up, and then they immediately block and ban his account. So you don't like. I want to know the follow up because when you saw that original post, I'm like, is he saying that like all Jewish people are this, and he's being anti-Semitic, or did he just mean like like there are some Jewish people that I'm going to talk about? And it wasn't clear 100, like it is clear now what he means, but it wasn't clear at that moment what he meant. And we couldn't find out for days because these idiots blocked him. They're like, I wanted to see him. Like, I want him to either dig the hole deeper for himself or to clarify. And you say, oh, maybe he just spoke poorly or something. But they don't give you that opportunity because they just go, oh, he's blocked, he's banned.
So many of these Fortune 500 companies, though, are deeply invested in Kanye West. That's the problem.
I know.
That's the problem. How is Gap and Adidas ever going to live this down? Like they've made him a billionaire. And now he's totally, all of that investment in him as a celebrity endorsement is just gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious. That's true. Well, he can't be kicked out of Adidas, and he talks about that in this interview because apparently he has a majority stake in it or something, which I didn't even know that. But I'm curious because I know that Viva Fry, he like came out really hard defending Kanye's original post.
He doesn't.
Saying everyone was just misinterpreting it, and I'm like, well, I'm curious if he's like, well, I guess I was wrong on that one.
He misspeaks in here about his majority stake in Adidas. He doesn't
Oh,
have
he
a
does.
majority stake in Adidas. The majority of the online sales come from him.
Oh, he meant his
64
products.
yeah,
I see.
64% of their online sales are Kanye West products. Yes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So he doesn't have, and I don't, I'm honestly not sure that that's going to be the case a month from now, because the black community seems to be very upset with him because of his comments in here about George Floyd.
Well, see, but he's done what he's doing from a political standpoint is very stupid because he's alienating everyone.
Yeah.
Because he comes out with the White Lives Matter T-shirt, and then he has the George Floyd comment. And so it's like, okay, so a lot of black people are mad at him. A lot of people on the left are mad at him. And then he's coming out with the Jewish comments. So it's like, well, now the right can't really defend him.
Yeah.
Or support him.
He is,
So he's kind of like putting himself out there alone on the island, just pissing off like all the sides of the political spectrum.
but that's the thing. He doesn't seem to realize that. Like, he keeps complaining about how he's being blackballed, but doesn't seem to realize that, yeah, you're being blackballed because you're saying crazy shit that nobody wants to try to defend. Nobody can defend you. You're making yourself, toxic. So,
Well, it's not even. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. But I would say it's not just that he's pissing everyone off, because I don't think there's a problem with pissing everyone off. The problem is that it's like he's just being like racist and very simplistically minded in the entire conversation about the whole thing. And he gets into later in part of this conversation, like he totally buys into sort of, it seems like, the CRT narrative that like black people need to all coalesce together and have separate standards for behavior than white people, which, I mean, the right's not on board with that either.
no. He accuses Jewish people of that as well.
Hey, Aiden. Aiden says Kanye has always been like this. I made a video about it a year ago. He just says and thinks whatever the fuck he wants and doesn't make any attempt to placate anybody. Well, that is certainly true in this situation.
Yeah, but the question is how often can you do, like, how long can that last?
Right.
I feel like we're kind of getting to the end of that rope right now, to be honest with you, but maybe, I don't know.
Definitely.
Is how much love in the world is there for Kanye? Is it running low?
I don't know. I mean, because there's a lot of people that are not politically minded and they just say, I don't care. I like his music. So
Yeah.
I am curious to see how this all plays out in the future.
I'm like, yo, I'll put my life on this at this point because they've been fucking with me too long.
So the Planned Parenthood comments are definitely Candace Owens. Like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he made that plan. Yes.
that's
yes.
100% Candace Owens.
Right.
They put the crazy narrative out there. My Jewish trainer, Harley Pasternak, who's Lizzo's trainer, put it out when I went to the hospital, put it in the press. I got a bunch of friends that went to the hospital. It didn't go to the press. They did that just like they did in the documentary on the 3rd episode to say, we love Ye like the rest of y'all. We know he a genius like the rest of y'all, but sometimes you got to turn the camera off on him. Right. So they'll go and get a dude that's supposed to be my friend that's been taping me the whole time and buy this nigga out for $30 million.
I thought you co-signed that.
I ain't co-signing, but you get used to that. Paparazzi taking a picture of you, you ain't getting no money off it. Right. You just get used to getting screwed by the Jewish media. And I'm saying, y'all done poked the bear too fucking long. When I wore the White Lives Matter tee, I had 4 SoFi Stadium shows. They canceled my shows. I said it's...
How does the... So he says that he blames the Jewish media for attacking Trump. Like, how does his worldview even make sense? Because he's like, oh, the reason the media attacked Trump is because it's the Jewish media, right? So that implies that Jewish people are anti-Trump. But then Trump seems to be thinking that, he's got a lot of Jews on his side because he's like he's probably been like the most pro-Israel president we've had like maybe ever.
Yeah.
His
chief advisor's Jewish.
Right.
Yeah.
His son-in-law is Jewish. And then the guy that Kanye's got making his White Lives Matter t-shirt is Jewish. And so it's like, well, wait a minute. So obviously from his own experiences, there's Jews on all sides of the political spectrum here. So how can he just simplify it down to like the Jewish media is doing X?
It's called racism. It's called negative stereotypes.
Right.
Sitch.
Right.
This is the thing. The guy tries to back him down off of this,
Yes, yeah.
and
That's
he
interesting.
brings that up. He says, "Listen, this is why I bookmarked it, because he perfectly says what I'm always saying. Like, you can't judge everybody in a community by the standard of, a few people that you've interacted with. It's not right." And he even gives the example of, I went to fight with some people in the hood, and I blamed like the whole city over what was
Right.
going on with just a few people there, which was just not right. He's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, that he says that exact example, which is true. It's like if you're white, okay, and you grew up in a black neighborhood that was like, I don't know, lower income black neighborhood or something, like this the stereotype, the negative stereotype situation, and you had a lot of bad experiences with black people, and then you said, okay, well now I'm gonna make like assumptions that all black people exhibit these sorts of behaviors or traits or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously. And then is Kanye going to be down with that? Is he going to be okay with that? I would assume not.
Well, he's basically doing that though. That's why
He is
everyone's
doing that with Jewish
losing.
people.
I know. That's why everyone's losing their minds. They're like,
Right.
Kanye. That's the thing, because there's so many people. I mean, we've been working. So many of those Jewish people that he's insulting are like, look, dude, we've been working on negative stereotypes of blacks forever. And
Right.
here you come out swinging with all the negative stereotypes of Jews that you're
Right.
going to give to your millions of fans. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm just waiting. Like, this interview is a million negative stereotypes about Jewish people. What the
Well,
fuck?
it's funny too because there's like the complaint that a lot of music producers, especially along rap, is there are Jewish people.
Right.
And part of the reason for that is because like when a lot of rappers were coming up, a lot of the non-Jewish music producers were too racist. They didn't want to they didn't want
Really?
to they didn't want to
Really?
cover that kind of music. And so it's sort of like, oh, thank you for taking a shot on, on me in this time. But
Did you get to the part where he talks about pulling out the pornography in his Adidas meeting? He's in some Fortune 500 meeting with Adidas, and he's like showing him his favorite porn star.
I did. I didn't bookmark that part, but
It's
I did
just,
get.
I know I didn't bookmark it either, but it's so weird because
Right.
he's like, I'm a Christian, right? I'm family friendly. And then he's talking about my favorite porn star.
Right.
I'm going, man, this is just a mess.
Well, there's this weird part. I think I did bookmark this part where he tells Jared Kushner, he's like, "Listen,
Oh, I know.
I want you to know that I didn't have sex with Ivanka," and he's like, "Thank you." Like, it's just such like a weird interaction. It's like, oh, why are you telling me? Like, the fact that you're telling me this makes you think that you did. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was super weird. But
Like,
he
oh
also,
my God.
Charlemagne the God came out and said that Pete Davidson had a bigger dick than Kanye, and that's why
Right.
Kanye was jealous.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah.
What the fuck? Really?
That's Charlemagne the God's not, he's an idiot, so doesn't really
Charlemagne
surprise
the
me.
God is, he's a little more politically savvy than Kanye, obviously.
Yeah, but he's
I mean,
I mean, didn't we?
we've
covered
covered
something of his.
him, yeah.
Right, but was he? I'm trying to remember because it's been so long.
I
Was he woke or
I-
was he like? I thought he was sort of borderline Yakubian.
No, he's woke,
No?
but I don't think he's Yakub. And I
Okay,
think he's
okay.
way more intelligent on I disagree with him, obviously, on a lot of the woke shit, but
Right.
I think he's way more intelligent on politics than Kanye.
Well, sure.
Yeah. It's funny to me that Kanye's running for president. It's like, okay.
I do like when they ask him like, what would be your Ukrainian?
I know.
fiancé?
We gotta listen to that. Come on, we gotta watch more of this.
Yeah.
How far are we going on this? Of what
I was gonna say go up to 17.
Okay.
And let me tell you one thing. It's like if a black man is caught with some in the car or something, everybody in the car gonna go to jail with him, right? But if a black man can play basketball or rap, only he gets the record deal. So meaning like if one black man does something bad, all the other blacks get caught with him. If one black man does something good, nobody else gets nothing with him. It's a
That's CRT 101 right there. That's Derek Bell.
Yeah. Well, no, and also, I mean, the example he's giving is ridiculous because, like, Yeah, if there's guys in a car, the police might charge everyone in the car if someone has some illegal possession of something. Like you can't compare that to a broader societal trend
Of
at
course
all.
not.
Like
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
But this is what Derek Bell will say. Derek Bell will
Yeah,
say, just because certain members of a community have been picked out for wealth and prestige doesn't mean that that other community isn't shit upon.
right.
Reverse for the Jewish people, right? If a Jewish person could repeatedly fucks me on a deal, it's just them. It's just the businessman. It's not the people. It's not nobody else. But if a Jewish person does good, all of their people eat with them. That's one of the flips. I gotta tell you something. Where is a black?
Now I'll be honest. I've never had a meeting with the head of Adidas or Ralph Lauren or whatever company he's talking about that is run by Jews. So it's not been my experience. I've never, as much as I joke about the secret Jew meetings, I've never talked to Jon Stewart. I've never been able to explain to him that he's being brainwashed by woke commie talking points because I'm a Jew and he's a Jew. So it's just,
maybe
this is Kanye's justification for why he says it's okay for him to basically be racist. He's like, well, people were racist against black people, so I get to be racist against Jewish people, I guess.
I know a lot of Jewish people that aren't rich and by
Right.
any means. So
Yeah.
I just don't I don't get this. That's another stereotype, right? All Jewish people are
course.
rich. That's
Of
like a
course.
giant stereotype.
Black guy that has a Jewish person signed to him? Point it out. Tell me that. Where's a black person that's signed to a Jewish person? All of them. Basically 90% of them. So what I'm saying is, y'all done poked the bear too many times. Y'all should have learned with Drake. Y'all should have learned with Puff. Y'all should have learned with Hove. Y'all dealing with a different kind of animal here. Everybody wants to say I'm 730. Well, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I told y'all I was the leader. I told y'all I'm gonna free my people in the name of God, and I will put my life at risk, because if I wasn't in a glass prison, just like Larry Hoover's in a real prison, then I would have had to say so when my kids go to school. I go into my kids' school, I see Hanukkah books, then I see Kwanzaa. Christmas is Christ's Mass. Where's Jesus in the school where all the celebrities are paying
You
for
said
their
a
kids
glass
to go?
cell? I'm sorry. What did you just
Like,
say?
hey, I'm talking about.
Right.
But ain't nobody listening to me type shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm in like a glass box of like celebrity with a bunch of handlers around me and shit, and people colluding behind my back and being like, is he ramped up? What we gonna say now? What I told y'all, because I talked to Larry Jackson last night and he was like, yo.
From iTunes.
Yeah, but now he's got his own deal. He started telling me how Clive Davis changed his life. And I talked to him for 6 minutes. He said, well, usually we talk back and forth. I said, Larry, this is my life, though. I'm letting you know so you can let everybody know what it is. What it is at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of y'all no more. And we don't have to be afraid. I understand that they got us so paid off every which way, they cutting down. And my whole point just off the tweet, the fact that, what does that even mean, what I said? And the fact that I got taken off proves my point. Jamie Lee Curtis went on TV and said, I hope they.
You're muted.
No, sorry about that. But this is really a dumb thing that I've heard repeated constantly. Because it's like, if Kanye or some white person, if some white guy came out and they put out Kanye's tweet, but they just replaced Jewish people with black people, he would have got banned instantly too.
Of course. Yeah.
And this is part of what we complain about all the time. The only way that tweet would have not been banned was if it was a non-white person and they were saying white people. Then everyone would have been like, yes, oh my God. They would have been applying that. But any other, if it's black, Asian, Jewish, any other derivation of the race, it would have been boom, instantly banned off the platform. It's so silly. It's so silly. Do you know anything about Larry Hoover? Because I don't know anything about this guy that Kanye once freed from prison.
No, I looked up Clive Davis though. I found an article, Clive Davis on homosexuality and hip hop.
Oh, I don't know anything about that guy either.
He looks like a Jewish uh, record producer
Oh, okay.
from maybe he handled P Diddy. Probably
It
got
says
in a
this lit.
controversy because the LGBT mafia was after them for. I don't know if you've listened to rap music, but they don't. They make a lot of gay comments.
Yeah, I know they do. It says Larry Hoover was a former American gang leader, co-founder of the Chicago street gang Gangster uh, Disciples. He's serving 6 life sentences. In Colorado, he was sentenced to 200 years for a 1973 murder. And in 1997, after a 17-year investigation, he was found guilty of conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, and running a continuing criminal enterprise by leading a gang from within the state prison.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know if this guy was quote unquote wrongly accused, but this is Kanye wants this guy out of prison for some reason.
Probably that is Kim Kardashian. Kanye just seems to be saying what other people have said to him.
You're right. He does. Yeah, it does seem like he just sort of like regurgitates a lot of information.
They take his children away from him.
Wow.
I hope they take his children away from him. Everybody they put out, Triple X, Tupac, that's what Larry was saying.
Right.
My response was, well, I guess I'm next then.
Right.
Because it's no backing down at this point. I talked to Q because Q been labeled an anti-Semite. First of all, we are Semite. We
Right.
Jew, so I can't be anti-Semite.
Right.
First of all.
He got us, man.
You got him.
That's a stellar
Got him.
defense right there. I don't see
Right.
how you can get through that defense at all. That
I don't
seems
know.
ironclad to me.
I
Sitch.
know.
I don't.
I know.
It seems
Well, I mean,
perfect.
first of all, if your claim, which I mean, he's never really got into this, but the claim that like the Jews are all black people originally, that isn't an anti-Semitic claim because the claim is that the current Jews are like fake Jews, they're pretenders.
Right.
So that itself is an anti-Semitic claim generally. I don't know how Kanye means it because he's never expounded on that, but
Right. Yeah. So that's odd because he is saying when he says he's Jewish, he's saying the 12 tribes were originally black and that Jews are
Right.
fake Jews. So yeah, that is
he hasn't
anti-Semitic
explicitly said that second part, but that's implicit in that belief system.
in the
So-
claim. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I mean, and also like obviously even if he was, quote unquote Jewish or whatever, you can still, I mean, Karl Marx he's pretty anti-Semitic and he was raised Jewish. So like, you could be self-hating. There's lots of white people that are super racist against white people that are involved in CRT and other fields. Like just because you are of whatever ethnicity or race or religion doesn't mean you can't be bigoted against, people that share that quality with you.
The claim that he seems to be making though is that all black people are Jewish, whether they like it or not, which I just,
Right.
I don't know that that's a claim you can make.
Well, and also like it doesn't, and that kind of annoying that the people don't ask him to expound on this because he says repeatedly, but then he also repeatedly says that he believes in Jesus,
Right.
and it's like, well, okay, but what does it mean to be Jewish then if you're saying that you believe in Jesus?
Who knows?
I need my 4 stadiums back. The 78 media outlets that called me abuser when I was trying to get that hair.
So the stadiums thing, he's evidently been blocked from playing concerts or something.
Mm-hmm.
Heroin addict away from my kids that was tattooing my kids' names on them. Skeet,
Right.
Pete Davidson.
Right.
They popping up. You know what I'm saying? It's like they Trevor Noah, not even from America.
Right.
He just looked black,
Right.
right?
What does that mean?
What's wrong with that?
I mean, he is black. He's not American, but he is black. So I'm not following. I mean, it sounded like you said like if you're not American, you're not black. I don't know what the implication there.
Well, there is a divide between the American-born slaves and the immigrants.
Yeah, and
the
obviously
black
people
immigrants.
that are black but were not enslaved. Yeah, sure, I understand that, but he is black. I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird comment, and I do feel bad for Kanye because it really feels like listening to him, it feels like this is a guy who he's going through a bad divorce, but he has children. with his wife. Um, his mom, I think, died recently.
Oh, really? I
He
didn't know that.
he uh
That
he
sucks.
has like, bipolarism. It really feels like that this is it's kind of like, when Britney Spears like melted down publicly like years ago. She like shaved her head and like totally
I
like
do
lost her
remember.
mind.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like we're watching another celebrity who's just like basically having a psychological break in public,
Yeah.
essentially. That's what it feels like we're watching. So I do feel bad for Kanye.
Yeah, I see there's so much damage being done here at the same time though. It's not pretty.
Yeah,
It's
well,
definitely not
yeah,
pretty.
obviously. Obviously. Oh, wait a minute. His mom didn't. His mom died in 2007. Never
Okay.
mind. Okay. Never mind. I thought she died recently.
It's all relative.
Yeah, I guess that's
Gonna say, yo, Kim, it's gonna get dangerous. So they putting all that he crazy. He's so OJ.
Right.
Nori just want the family back together.
Right.
I just want the family back together.
Right.
Kim is a Christian. On TMZ.
Kim Kardashian obviously has political aspirations that Kanye West is standing in the way of, right? I mean,
Well, what do you mean by that?
well, she's a player. She tried to get legislation passed that, Trump tried to help her with the she was
Hmm.
instrumental in the prison reform bill with Trump, and she
Right.
knows the Clintons. Like she's wants to make real change in the world. She's like, listen, I became a. I don't. I mean, all this is intuitive. I don't. I've never read her biography or anything, but it seems like she has the attitude that I became rich and famous, and I want to do some good in the world. Like obviously, we can debate over whether or not what she thinks is doing good in the world is actually doing good in the world.
Right.
But I
Right.
don't.
Right.
I feel like that's that's slipped into Kanye's thinking as well. He wants to do good in the world, but I don't necessarily know that he's. I mean, I just guessing would say Kim Kardashian is probably getting closer to the bullseye than Kanye is.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Well, obviously. I mean, yeah. When you say political aspirations, that makes me think that like she wants to run for office. So it's just I don't think she wants to run for office.
well, political aspirations. There are behind the scenes people that
Yeah, I
are. I
understand. Yeah.
say,
Like.
I
Yeah.
mean, you don't get
Gotcha.
anything done without politics, right? All of
Right.
it's
Right. Right.
politics. She got the prison reform bill through, which is politics,
Hmm.
is it not? I mean, even Hollywood is politics. How do you think these
Yeah.
movies get greenlit?
Oh yeah. No. Sure. Sure. But no, I mean, I know I've watched a couple of actual Justice Warrior videos where he's gone over people that she's advocated for to
That
be
are horrible.
released that
Yes.
are, yeah, horrible and seem like they're completely guilty, at least according to Sean, who I generally trust Sean. He's pretty good with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
for
Well,
shame.
like I said, we can disagree over whether or not you
Yeah,
think she's
yeah.
doing good in the world, but she's definitely
Right.
she understands the
The
keys to
game.
power. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I think she would watch this interview and go, this really stands in the way of my political aspirations.
Well, it will help her now because all this, and this is why it's also sad for Kanye. I understand if he's a guy who is very upset and wants to spend more time with his children. I completely understand that. But by going out in the public and basically making everyone think you're crazy and by acting crazy, he's just really torpedoing his ability and his chances to, have a positive relationship with his children.
There's moments in here when he seems like vulnerable narcissist all the way.
Hmm.
He talks about how he's number one, like before his
Right.
mom and dad and all that stuff. And I
Right.
think this guy is just completely unaware, no self-awareness whatsoever. So I think that is obviously standing in the way of him making any kind of you can't make any progress towards self-improvement if if you're not able to see where there's room for improvement. And I don't think Kanye is able to do that.
No. Well, also, I'm curious, if we ever, obviously, we would never be able to talk to Kanye, but I would like to ask him because it was only like a few years ago. If you remember, his whole like people chose to be slaves comment that everyone got very upset
Oh
about.
yeah, I do remember that.
And he was kind of going off on the sort of like new age, we all create a reality situation idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. If you believe that, Kanye, how are you victimizing yourself right now? where all you do is you cry victim and complain about like Jews and other people fucking with you. Like, are you creating this reality yourself, Kanye?
There's no need for consistency in Kanye West's responses, okay? Consistency is not something he's after.
I just saw yesterday, they said Pete Davidson and Kim have sex by the fireplace to honor their grandmother. It's Jewish Zionists that's about that life, that's telling this Christian woman that has 4 black children to put that out as a message in the media. So when I drive by and I see the Hulu.
So it's really weird because he calls Pete Davidson a Jewish Zionist. Okay, so I actually looked this up. I'm like, is Pete Davidson even Jewish? So, at least according to his Wikipedia page, his father is Jewish, but his mother is Christian, Catholic, and he was raised Catholic. So
really,
you could take that. I don't think Pete Davidson identifies as Jewish, and also by Jewish customs, he would not be considered Jewish because your mother has to be the Jewish one. But
you always say that.
that's what the Jews say. Okay, I don't make the rules, Adam.
Well,
I don't make the
okay.
rules. That's the Jew rules.
That's the tradition.
So he's at best half Jewish, but he was not raised Jewish. J-Mac, our surrogate father, Daddy J-Mac, for $50. Thank you so much. Says Shapiro has said about Kanye, quote, live by the Kanye, die by the Kanye.
I know.
I wonder how the conversation between Ben and Candace about this Yee mess will go. Honestly, Kanye has always seemed mentally unstable. Dude thinks he's a gay fish after all. There you go.
Yeah, it couldn't have been said better. I do wish I could be a fly on the wall for the Candace Ben Shapiro fallout meeting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is Candace with Daily Wire, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
You know what? I would love to be the fly on the wall in that meeting. Oh man. Candace
Owens was kind of made famous by Kanye, really.
Yeah, she was kind of blown up before then, but that definitely helped rocket her up the ladder. Yeah.
Into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Ads, and I say the JP Chase Morgan ads, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the devil is a defeated foe. You can't poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't
see no sense of responsibility whatsoever here.
Right.
Like, you guys did all this to me. You made everyone think that I'm crazy. As he's sitting here spouting off the most insane shit. None of this is his fault.
Well, it's also like, not only is he saying all the JQ stuff, but then he's saying it in a way that makes him seem extra crazy.
I know. Yeah.
Because there are like people that are like anti-Semitic who you go, oh, this person's just a bigot. Like, I don't think Nick Fuentes is crazy. I think he's a bigot, but I don't think he's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so Kanye's like, okay, he's on the bigot train and he sounds crazy. He's got like the double whammy.
Well, I'm not sure he even knows he's on the bigot train, because that's why when the guy pushes back, it's so interesting, because he doesn't seem aware of the fact that there's these things. It's just not good to label a whole group of people by the actions of a few. I mean, you wouldn't like that.
got no celebrity friends, because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
Right.
I'm Michael now.
Right,
Every
right.
Michael you can think of,
Right.
but mostly Godfather Michael now. No. I'm Michael now. I'm Michael now.
I like that like quarter of a second cutaway to that one host who's like looking at him like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know. So many of the shots in here, you can see almost the reaction shots on their faces just by Kanye's. Like he doesn't necessarily know what to do because obviously they're mortified by what he's saying. So he's kind of
Right.
like, you're supposed to be cheering me on here. What's going on?
Right.
Now, I am the richest
Right. They say you're the richest black man in American history.
in history.
In American
history.
Can we make some noise for that? Goddammit.
They're like,
want y'all
please,
to- I
let's
want y'all
talk
to-
about not doing the cheers.
Are there people in the background there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like random people and women that are like scantily clad that like give drinks apparently and
Right.
like just wander around the studio.
Did you
For some
get
reason.
did you get to the moment where he asked the crowd, who do you think's responsible for this? And someone yells out, the Jews.
Yeah.
It's so fun. You're like, whoa.
It's one of the women. She says that yes.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
no, actually, no, not this time. I was referring to someone else.
Oh my God.
Run up on me.
No.
I want y'all to come kill me. I want you to smack me.
No.
I want you to do all the shit you rap about.
No.
All the shit you rap about. I want you to come do it now. Come down to this joint right now. Please.
The guy's going, no, don't come down to this joint. Come on. Why are you doing this?
It's like, listen, if you want Puff Daddy and whoever else you were talking about to come and try to assassinate you, do it at your house.
Yeah, do it at
Don't
your
do it here.
house. Not at our podcast.
Or otherwise, shut the fuck up unless you was there when the Kardashians kidnapped my kids. You understand? Now go and get y'all some motherfucking business while we go and get free. Because I'm Moses out here. You know what I'm saying? I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died,
So I haven't watched it. What does that even mean? I don't understand what that means.
I don't know. Do you watch the documentary?
I haven't watched it.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone in the chat? Were they saying that like they wanted to kill a tall guy like me? I don't really understand what that comment is supposed to mean.
Yeah. Who said it? Did George Floyd say it, or did the
Right.
roommate say that George Floyd said it?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
is
know.
it some sort of conspiracy?
I have no
I
clue.
don't know. Yeah.
he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend.
So a lot of people are freaking out about his knee wasn't on his neck comment.
Right.
I thought that was common knowledge. Maybe it's just because we're like far more like involved in politics. I thought it was common knowledge that his knee wasn't like literally on his neck. It was on like the base of I don't know what you'd actually call it. It's like where your neck meets your chest. It was like on that part of his body.
Right.
But maybe I guess that's not true. I guess most people thought his knee was literally on his neck.
His hand, Derek Chauvin's hand, wasn't in his pocket either. Everyone always
Yeah,
was
that's
wearing
right.
like black
Right,
gloves.
right.
It's like hand in his pocket, like, I'm just chilling here.
Mhm.
Well, his hand actually isn't in his pocket.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, he said he said they hit him with the fentanyl. What does that mean? Who? I mean, the story I thought was that when he gets pulled over because he has fentanyl on him, he swallowed it all like in a bag or something.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
hide it, and then it probably accidentally ruptured
Overdosed
inside of
on it.
him. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he got it.
And that's why he freaked out, obviously, because
Right.
he was OD.
Right. Yeah, but so who's they? They hit him with the fentanyl? I mean, does he mean the cops gave him the fentanyl? I don't know what he means by that.
Well, he's talking about the feds. Maybe he means the feds hit him. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that fucked me up when I was watching.
I did watch this guy's apology video, and he's probably done multiple apology videos. The Drink Champs guy.
The guy who's interviewing him.
Yeah. And he did, like, people are super upset with him over the George Floyd stuff, and he seemed pretty, like, people were giving him a hard time for not stepping in and, like, steering the conversation or whatever. They're basically like Dave Rubining him, saying, "Listen, like when someone goes crazy on your show, you have the
Right.
you're obligated to step in and
So
stop the fake news."
right. It depends. I say it depends on what the situation is. So like with Kanye here, I think it's so clear to almost everyone listening that he sounds unhinged.
Yeah,
It's not like, oh, you have someone on your show who's saying a bunch of like fake news and you feel like, oh, maybe people would believe this, so you want to give some pushback. Like with this, I don't feel like that's even remotely necessary. The only thing I would criticize the host for doing is not that he didn't push back on Kanye. It's just that he should have asked a lot of clarifying questions like, well, what do you mean they hit him with the fentanyl? What do you mean the 12 tribes are black? Like just to get Kanye to actually stick to a single point and explain whatever he's talking about.
yeah. There's these weird rules about platforms that are not really set in stone yet, and we're trying to kind of figure them out culturally. So
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I don't. People are angry, so all bets are off, right?
Well, yeah, but they're angry because there's like the super woke, like, how dare you platform someone who said things that I don't agree with, and you didn't, call them racist or stupid or whatever, blah 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 blah. Blah.
Yeah.
That's what they're complaining about.
No, I agree. You're saying that somebody should be able to tell that this is racist and crazy on their own, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so with like, I don't criticize Joe Rogan for not pushing back on Dave Smith because
Right.
Joe Rogan just doesn't know. I mean, I would have loved if he did, but unfortunately, Joe Rogan doesn't know. But in that situation, it's like, okay, I can understand people hearing Dave Smith. It's not exactly, you wouldn't necessarily like hear what he's saying and say, oh, this guy's crazy, right? You
Right.
wouldn't have that thought. But I feel like most people listen to Kanye in this moment. Like, do you really need to push back on any of this stuff?
I know. I just the interesting thing for me is people seem really set on regulating information. Like they want certain memes not to be spoken by anyone. And the whole like George Floyd, the George Floyd narrative they want to be set in stone.
Right. Of
So
course.
it's just
Of course.
I mean, I disagree with it. Obviously, I think we should have an open society, and those people really bug the shit out of me. Like people should be
Right.
able to talk about stuff like that. And obviously, this is a podcast. It's not like a news program or something like that.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I do understand that any huge celebrity. I mean, this is why people pay for celebrity endorsements. They pay the celebrity to say, I like this product, and we even know that they're paying them, so they have every incentive to lie to you. But we still believe it anyway because they're like a giant celebrity. A lot of
That's
people
what I
do.
literally, I don't know. I guess I don't understand people that operate in that mental space.
What do you mean?
With-
It's the simplest epistemology. It's like the guy that I like said it, so it must be true. That's that's the
Yeah, but
bait.
it's like I understand that more when it comes to politics, but when it comes to like paid endorsements, they're being paid to shill a product.
I know it's the
Like,
mind. The
I don't know.
mind is
It's weird.
the
I don't
mind
get
is
it.
a terrible like liar. It's just that's the way the mind works.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's like, okay, why would you just buy this? I mean, they're being paid to show this product. Why would you believe it?
Can we look up? We need to look up. Did the Google searches for the stuff that Kanye is saying go up? I mean, what
Jewish
was it?
media.
Yeah, exactly. The Jewish conspiracy, is the black community completely turned against the Jews now after this? I mean,
I don't
there's-
know. I
that's
mean, there was a
pretty
lot of
bad.
anti-Semitism roiling the black community for many, many years, but
Right. Yeah.
but it's funny because it's because the same reason that a lot of lower income black communities have problems with Asian people. It's
right.
because there'd be a lot of shops and stores in black areas that would be owned by Asians or Jews, or they just be in close proximity to each other,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
in the documentary, and it said they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna cry in front of y'all because that's how they get me, right?
All right.
But I know that we lost him. And I know that this white company, Louis Vuitton, is now making statues of him, like as a martyr. And we don't know why Exactly. We say it's cancer.
But
Yeah.
I mean, all right. I want to be careful with this subject because.
Wait a second, but tell me, could you even really run this interview? Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
So is he implying that his yeah, that's funny. But is he implying that his friend was like assassinated or something? That seemed to be sort of the implication. He
Yeah.
didn't really die of cancer. Which, I mean, I don't know anything about Virgil. So apparently he's the artistic director of Louis Vuitton. I don't know why someone would take him out, but
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They blocked me out. The Jewish media blocked me out. This shit lit, right? I'm lit, right? I'm lit.
Yeah.
I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? JP Morgan, I put $140 million into JP Morgan and they treated me like shit. So if JP Morgan Chase is treating me like that, how they treating the rest of y'all?
That's outrageous,
Sure.
yeah.
And this.
so there was this controversy where it came out, or Chase made a statement or something, and it was right after the DEF CON tweet
Right.
about, they were gonna close out Kanye's accounts or something, and everyone, myself included, I first thought it was because of the tweet that he put out. Which, if that's the case, even though I obviously, don't like what Kanye tweeted, I think it's totally insane and crazy if banks are closing people's accounts because they put out like racist or anti-Semitic tweets or something. I don't think we should live in that society. I think it's totally batshit crazy.
Yeah. Should
But-
be run like a utility, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
Don't
exactly.
make him a celebrity endorsement for your bank. for heaven's
Well,
sake.
yeah, right. But when I started to look into it, and it's weird because I was trying to find the statement, and I accidentally had my Google search time parameters set to like, I was like doing some other search. So I had my Google time parameter set to like earlier. And I saw there were old articles from months ago where Kanye himself said that he was taking all of his money out of Chase like months ago.
Really?
Yeah. So now I'm wondering if the statement by Chase had nothing to do with the tweet at all. And then I found a statement of Kanye, and he didn't really say that he thought that they were closing his bank account because of the tweet. So I don't know. I'm wondering maybe there's something other going on there, because he's been complaining about Chase for like the entire year, essentially. As the claim he made right now, where he's like, I put in a bunch of money into the Chase. He's like, I put in millions of dollars into a Chase account, and then I couldn't talk to like the CEO of Chase, which is, first of all, it's a weird statement. I mean, I don't know, maybe because I'm not like super rich, and I'm like, I wouldn't think that I would, talk to the CEO of a bank or something, even if I was rich. But
Yeah, let me open an account. Now give me the CEO.
yeah, like I don't know, like I mean, I get it. It's like a lot of money, but it's a lot of money for a person if you put in $100 million. But I don't know if that's a lot of money for like
A
bank.
bank. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right. Like they're doing like $1 billion, repo swaps every day, every day. I don't know.
It's murderers with Chase accounts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I am outraged. By the time people they want to calm it down.
Because no matter what, you didn't break no law.
I didn't break a law.
No
I
matter
didn't
what,
break a
The
law.
bank shouldn't be a judge or jury on
Right.
anything that's
But
going
this
on
is
there.
it's like a social contract. Candace Owens has a word for it, I'm forgetting it. But it's basically like they told Candace Owens she couldn't hang out with me. I'm here because I ain't have no.
The bank told Candace Owens.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know who the they is in that statement.
Here, J.P. Morgan calls him and says, "Excuse me, Kanye, but you can't hang out with Candace Owens anymore."
No. They told Candace she can't hang out with Kanye.
Oh yeah, none of these people like Candace Owens. That's another thing in the apology video.
Right.
They were talking smack about Candace Owens.
Well, I assume they're all
so-
on the left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye's not doing any. I mean, sooner or later, Candace is going to have to cut ties with Kanye just over politics, I would assume.
Of course. Well, see, but I could believe, now this is entirely speculation, but I would 100% believe that after his DEF CON Jewish comments, that Candace would be like, oh, I can't meet with you right now, Kanye, because like they're telling me I'm not allowed to. Like I would completely buy that she would like make up some scenario that someone told her not to meet with him, just because she's savvy enough to know not to meet with him right now.
What if she tells him it's because of the Jews? Oh, shit. Kanye, I have to tell you something, but you have to be sworn to secrecy.
Kanye, listen. Ben Shapiro and the president of JP Morgan Chase came to my house and they said, "Don't you dare meet with Kanye."
They threatened to kill me. What? Where do you want to go? I have 47, but where do you have?
Actually, let me see. I think he said something like
outlet. I was on Tucker Carlson, right? And people, Trump supporters, they think it's so, they think it's nice that a black guy supports Trump, but it's like, would they really support me when I do? Because
no, I don't think so. Not after this stuff.
They said legally I'm not allowed to say what's happening in 2024, but all those people that love me when I run against when I wore the hat, right? Would they support me? I got to say something about the hat. That's one of the things that really drove me to the edge.
Talking about the MAGA hat.
The MAGA hat. Right? Imagine your own wife telling you, "Oh, the hat's small dick energy." Meanwhile, the Clintons got them trying to get people to get vaccinated. I know somebody, I'm not going to say his name, where Kim and Chris got on the phone with them trying to get them to push the vaccination to black people. Meaning that's how in tuned and how aligned with the Clintons that the Kardashians were through Corey. Through Corey. Corey is a plant. Corey was, Puff Daddy, Nanny, Manny. You get what I'm saying? Then he was with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber got in trouble. And then when Bruce did a transition to Caitlyn, he popped up. Now he run around like he Kylie Daddy. But he's there.
Who's Corey?
That's what I'm actually
like
Googling now. I
Corey's
don't know who
like
he's talking about.
Fixer. Can you imagine Kim Kardashian?
Corey Gamble.
Can you imagine Kanye's got his Make America Great Again hat on? He's feeling good. He's checking himself out in the mirror, and Kim Kardashian pops in and is like, "Small dick energy."
So
take that hat off.
Corey Gamble is dating Kris Jenner, I guess, after she broke up with Caitlyn.
What? Okay.
So yeah.
Kris Jenner is
Caitlyn. Kris Jenner is Kim Kardashian's mother.
Right.
Right. And she's dating Corey Gamble, who apparently was Justin Bieber's manager at some point.
They didn't stay together after
when Bruce became Caitlyn? No, I don't think.
Okay.
I guess not. I guess it was kind of a difficult situation.
That was bad on the marriage.
But I do sympathize with Kanye if he's coming out as pro-Trump and his wife, has some connections with the Clintons that he doesn't know about, and she's kind of like gaslighting him into being anti-Trump. Like, that's pretty gross. If that's true, that actually happened.
I know he's such an unreliable protagonist that you don't know if he just supported Trump just to piss his wife off. No, but he seems more wrapped up in the family drama than politics.
Oh yeah, this is entirely driven by family drama. This was part of what makes it so sad. No, but I mean, he can be pro-Trump and his wife could be pro-Hillary, but it's just they should be open with each other about it. Like if it's true that he didn't know she had some weird connections with the Clintons, which it's hard for me to imagine that he wouldn't know that, but okay. And she's like trying to gaslight him against Trump. That is pretty bad.
Didn't she work with Trump on prison reform?
She did. Yeah.
She did. Yeah,
she did.
Exactly.
She 100% did. Right.
So maybe she put Kanye up to going to support Trump so she could get prison reform passed. I don't.
Who knows?
Agenda and controlling the power of that family. 4 of those people in that family have been raised Christian by Rob Kardashian. I know y'all want a question, but I
think you just gotta let some of this out, and then we.
It's not even venting or inventing. It's up. They done fuck with me too long. Every time they say my name wrong, it's like they calling me Cassius. My name Ali.
You hear that? Call him Yee, for heaven's sake, Sitch.
Because we're saying no one wants to call him Yee. It's a stupid name. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with Muhammad Ali. It's a stupid name. Yee. That's not a name. That's a consonant. I mean, that's not a consonant. what is it? What is that called when it's like
Kanye is a key word, so he's just now he's fighting an uphill battle here.
it's like it's a phoneme, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a name. It's just you
Yeah.
can't have your name be a phoneme. Okay, it's
Yeah.
got to be a name.
Where are we going next? 47.
Wait, hold on.
If I change my name, you respect that I changed my name. It shows you the level of disrespect. Every time they say one of my outfits are bizarre.
So there you go. He's coming out pro trans identity.
Mm-hmm. Level of disrespect.
When the last time you read a headline and they called me a billionaire? For 3 years, Forbes wouldn't say I was a billionaire.
Okay, yeah, we can. So let me look at my notes. So it says skip to 27. Let's see what's going on at 27.
Notes. Holy cow.
The left, the Democrats, and how it's controversial because people ain't gonna really name names, but it's funny still. I think about that. It's like we need joy. It's too much pain. It's too much anger, and it's too much trauma economy. I'm not gonna be like, I talk about the left, the Democrats, and how they prey with BLM on our outrage. Even when I put up the DEFCON 3 tweet, I was outraged at this point.
What does DEFCON 3 mean?
It's like level of
actually when it's DEFCON,
it's like nuclear war. Shit,
I spelled it wrong. I have a tendency to do that. But DEFCON is actually that you're preparing to protect yourself. Because
So there you go. There were people that were claiming that when he said DeathCon, it was like some kind of weird death threat against Jewish people, which I didn't. I assumed he just spelled DEFCON wrong or didn't know that it was
That's
DEFCON.
exactly
that he
what
actually
I
thought it was
thought, too.
DEFCON. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
DEFCON is DEF. Yeah. I saw
Right.
War Games.
yes.
I know
right.
what's up.
that's what I did, because once they cancel 4 SoFi stadiums because of what's classified as wrong think, because you have groupthink, it is very important to have the black vote be in groupthink and to not separate from the thought and be completely in line with the agenda of the left, the Jewish media, and the Chinese.
Now he's slipped into the Candace Owens. Oh, minus the Jewish media stuff. You want to elaborate on why that's so funny?
Well, it's like, because at first you're like, okay, well, if these quote unquote stadiums canceled him just because he said White Lives Matter, or just because he was pro Trump, I would agree with you. I'd be like, that's gross. Someone can have a different political take than you, but that's not why they canceled him. They canceled him for all the anti-Semitic stuff that he's talking about right now.
Yeah,
and so,
of course.
and he conflates them all together. So I just think it's so funny. He's like, the left, the Jews, and the Chinese. It's just like Candace. I can see in my mind Candace Owen watching this interview.
She's just mortified.
And like he says the left, and she's like, yes. She's like crying tears of joy. And then he says the Jews, and then she's like, no.
Kanye, we worked on this. I gave you cue cards. Damn it. Remember your notes.
That would be a funny bit, is like, you see, it's like goes to Kanye's POV, and he has like, it's like Candace Owens prepared cue cards, and it just says like the left, and it's like circled like a million times with a red pen. It's like blame for everything. And then next to it says the Jews, and it's like super crossed out, like do not blame, do not blame.
That's exactly right.
And kind of just like ignoring them.
That's a lot of
Chinese niggas got something to do with it?
They got something to do.
Oh, you have to go.
The Chinese got something to do with it? Is
I
it
love-
Chinese now? I know he's so terrified.
The hosts have like no idea how to have this conversation.
Yeah. How to walk him down off this ledge. They sense something is up. They know this is
Oh, really? They said something's up when he says the Jewish media like 10 times.
Well, they're not sure though, because they're like, well, this is definitely going to go viral, and we're probably going to get a bunch of eyes on it.
Right. Yeah, I can't believe they
But
deleted
at the
it. That
same
was
time,
stupid.
it's going to
That was
destroy
stupid.
Kanye's career.
Yeah, but he doesn't want them to censor it though. He wants it up there.
Right.
So it's like, well, I mean, that's what he wants.
I'm not sure. I mean, he asked Tucker to cut out sections of his video.
That's true. That's true.
He seems
the Jewish
somewhat aware.
dancing analogy.
Yeah. He's like, I got to tiptoe around this shit.
Completely in line with the agenda of the left, the Jewish media, and the Chinese.
It's a lot of
Chinese niggas got something to do with it?
They got something to do with everything. This is my issue.
He's like, now I hear you on the left and the Jews, but the Chinese, they're involved. It's like, that's not really the direction you should go on. Just denounce all of it. At this point, you just need a fire extinguisher.
With Jared Kushner, okay, so I went to a dinner, right, with Josh Kushner, Jared Kushner, and Ivanka. I'm always saying her name like that. So
We know what that means. That's a different ring to it. Go ahead.
He's like, oh man, he's so embarrassed. He's like, oh shit.
Why do you say it like that, though?
He's making it sound like he's got a thing for Ivanka.
Yeah, I maybe that's why he brings up. I think this is the part where he brings up that weird story, which is why I marked it.
It seems pretty obvious. He's like, did he date Ivanka or something? I don't know.
No, she's been married to Jared Kushner this whole time.
no, me and Ivanka, nothing never happened. But
I hung out with you and Jared one time.
It's so funny though, because me and Drake, before Donda came out, we met up at the studio, and the 80% of the time I'm just talking about how much I love Future and how I want to work with him, and how he's the most influential artist of the past 10 years. He had the most number ones in history now with Wait For You, so we was right about that, right? So, and he says, yo, I just want to tell you, nothing ever happened, with Kim.
Who, Future's something?
No, this is what Drake told me.
Oh,
I'm
Drake.
only talking to Drake about Future, really. Like,
Okay.
I'm like, yo, I love Future.
This is after y'all squashed the beat, after the concert?
This is when we were squashing it,
Okay,
right?
okay.
This is when we squashed it twice last year. In the beginning, and then when me and Jay Prince went to go see him. I got another funny story about that.
I would love to hear it.
So then Drake says to me, yo, I need to tell the story like this. So basically, Jared Kushner asked Steve Stout, like, yo, just tell me, like, did Ye fuck my wife? And Steve Stout was like, no, Ye never did nothing. So when I went to the White House, I saw Jared. I was like, yo, I want to just tell you, nothing ever happened. He's like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, yo, and I grabbed him by both shoulders, and I was like, yo, Jared, nothing's ever happened. And he said, yo, thank you for saying that. Okay, so
So I forgot there was a part. So apparently, according to Kanye, which again is an unreliable protagonist, Jared for some reason thought and asked someone else if Kanye had sex with his wife.
Okay.
I thought Kanye just brought this up like on his own. I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird.
Right.
But I feel like if you thought someone like had sex with your wife or your girlfriend and they grabbed you by the shoulders like intensely, they said, I did not. Like that makes me think they did. Like,
Well,
I don't know. That just seems like it says the opposite message to me in my mind. But
well, wouldn't you? I mean, it makes me think. Wouldn't Jared ask Ivanka first, and then?
well, yeah, but maybe he doesn't trust her again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, he asked Ivanka. Ivanka said, no, of course not.
Mhm.
And then he was like, I don't know. Here, I better do some more. I better do some more investigative work here.
Right.
I better get to the bottom of this.
But I mean, was there a time period where Ivanka and Kanye were like hanging out? I don't remember this like even being a thing.
I don't either.
So it was very weird.
It wouldn't surprise me though, just because celebrities do.
Yeah, I
kinda hang
guess.
out
I
together.
guess.
when I saw Drake, we was in a parking lot, we were talking, and he said, yo, I just want to tell you, yo, nothing ever happened. And then I said, yo, thank you for saying that. When did I become Jared Kushner?
I didn't know where this was going. I did not know.
So there you go. I can move on.
When
My
did-
next.
Well, I mean, it makes it seem like maybe he did have sex with Ivanka.
You think? Is that the implication?
It seems like it, because he's like, oh shit, and now I'm Jared. I lied. It sounds like he's lied to Jared. Now he's like, oh, now this guy's lying to me. He did have sex with Kim.
Yeah, either that or he meant more um like that he's like in this like weak position. Like some like he interprets it that the fact that someone has to tell someone else that they didn't have sex with his wife
Yeah, you are in
and
a
that
weak
they're
position,
yeah,
though.
right, exactly. And that the
Pretty
response is
obvious.
sort of like a weak thing to say. And so he's
Mhm.
like, well, now I'm in the weak position.
Yeah. It's
So
funny.
I guess. I guess.
They all pass their wives around. It's funny.
Yeah.
This is go.
Oh, okay, so wait, what's my next time code is 43.
Okay, I have 47, so close
Okay.
enough.
So I'll go up
We have 5
here.
more minutes.
What are you talking about?
I was
Get
like-
into office,
I was
but
like-
he didn't have the Jewish media on his side.
Oh, wait.
Because
Can I back up a little?
you know,
He's so illustrious, becomes from this city, and then now this city becomes the murder capital. Like it seems, that's what it seems
I
like.
mean, but look at like Barack, you know, look at his hair color when he went in, look at the hair color when he went out.
Yeah, everyone
yeah.
said, yeah.
You know, like, because if you don't have the connections, you know, Trump had enough connections to make it into office, but he didn't have the Jewish media on his side because the Jewish media was already aligned with an agenda with the left, with the Chinese. So you got like Alex Baldwin dissing, you know, Trump soon as he went in, used to be his.
Alec Baldwin is Jewish? I don't.
No,
He's
Alec
not
Baldwin's
Jewish.
not Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't.
What the fuck?
I don't know. He's kind of all over. This is what I think happened. I think he was talking to Candace Owens,
Okay.
and she's all like, "The left kills black people. The left is evil." You know, like blah 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 blah. You know, all this stuff that we've
Right.
heard from Candace Owens before. She kind of like implanted all this super tribal partisanship in his brain.
Right.
And then he goes and he talks to Ice Cube and Louis Farrakhan, and then they start talking about like the Jews, and then all of a sudden all like mixes together.
Right. They're basically saying, "Oh, the left is all the Jews."
Yeah, essentially.
But I mean,
guess.
isn't Ice Cube and Louis Farrakhan? I mean, aren't they on the left? I feel like they
they're
are.
they're not. They're in their own. Well, no, I wouldn't say they're not on the left.
Ice Cube is not woke. I mean, I feel like,
Well, Ice Cube is woke.
yeah,
Louis Farrakhan is definitely like if you were to give him a personality test, he's definitely a far right individual.
right.
Now he probably wouldn't vote for the right just because he feels that right wing people are racist against black people.
Right.
But his moral intuitions are definitely very far right wing. So,
Right. But I mean, he strikes me as a Hillary Clinton supporter.
I don't know. Did he
He
Did Louis
definitely
Farrakhan come out in
supports the
favor
squad,
of-
right?
of-
I thought the squad was in favor of Louis Farrakhan.
they
Didn't-
are. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And they're all on the left. What are you talking
Right.
about?
That's a good point. I forgot about that. But I think he was pro Trump.
No way. I don't buy it.
Boy,
Let's see.
you
Louis
got
Farrakhan
black people
praises Donald
dissing
Trump in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but you're right. So it's weird, yeah, because I know the squad refused to denounce him, and some members of the squad are like really favorable towards him because they're, racist.
Yeah. Well, they're anti-Israel.
Right.
Israel is the occupying force of Palestine.
Though I wonder, because all these things about Louis Farrakhan and Trump are from like 2016, 2017. I'm curious if he's changed his opinion on Trump because Trump is so incredibly pro-Israel.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume he would. I'm curious if he changed his opinion.
Right.
I mean, here's a quote. I know what the context of the quote is. It just says, Louis Farrakhan says, 2020, Mr. Trump killed my brother Soleimani.
Oh, because of the drone strike?
As he had, yes, I guess he didn't like that Trump drone strike Soleimani.
A fellow Muslim?
Maybe. So I don't know, maybe he's soured on Trump since then.
Black people know they love Trump.
Yeah.
We used to have raps. Guess who the black Trump? You know,
See, look at the reactions.
I know. He's like, I don't know about this guy.
What? He's like, I was just watching the January 6 hearings. And
Doesn't this guy look almost exactly like the white, bald-headed, white-bearded guy from Guess Who?
I don't know what Guess Who is.
You never played Guess Who?
No,
The board game.
no,
You don't know? Wait. You don't know what I'm talking about?
no, I don't.
The game where like for children where you would be like, are they wearing a hat? And you'd be like, yes. And then you like click all the people down that weren't wearing hats.
Man, you've done some really fucked up, crazy shit in your life, man.
How do you not know what Guess Who is? This is like you saying you don't know what Monopoly is.
Well, everyone knows what Monopoly is.
Well, you don't know what Guess Who is.
Look, your mom bought you a match game, and you suddenly think everybody has this match game.
Okay, wait a minute.
Guess
I
who
bet
is
you,
not?
I can guarantee you that
It's not
everyone in the
like pop
chat
culture.
knows what I'm talking about.
No way.
Wait, I gotta wait for the chat to catch
I looked it
up.
up. We don't have time. We have to move on.
I had to
But
wait
he
for
could
the
have been
chat.
better at messaging. That's what
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like the rhetoric was just unnecessary sometimes.
It was, but it's that frustration. It's like what I had to learn is like that thing I said with DEFCON. That was like me going Trump, level.
Right.
That was you can't. As you see, when we got warmed up, it's like a conversation where. Even in the beginning, we'll see if we want
you
to
looking
use
at the
stuff in the
chat?
beginning. If it's any of the message
Fuck you, chat.
Right, yeah, I definitely need another one.
that we want to put out.
What? This game probably came out when I was like, come on, I was chasing girls in college when this game
There you
came
go.
out.
There you go. You're
Like,
like,
nobody was playing Guess Who. I was playing a much different game. Okay.
Adam was like, well, you were playing Guess Who. I was playing Guess Who's in my pants.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I was playing a different version of Guess Who.
You got me going, man.
The only possible way that I could have won, that I'm a win, the only possible way is for me to early on call out the Jewish media this early, right?
Right.
Because
Stunning electoral strategy here, Sitch. What do you think? You think this is good? You think DeSantis should come out and just get this out of the way ahead of time? Call out the Jewish media? What do you think?
No, I don't think
Come
it's gonna
on.
work.
You're a political pundit. Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
It's a bold move, Cotton. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out for him.
This is so weird because even, when most people understand that when you run for president, when you announce, it's like a big thing. Like you make a big thing of it. This is like he's half announcing, half not announcing. He's like, oh, we got to keep it a secret, but let's talk about when I run for president in 2024.
Right.
It's so weird. It's so weird. This is not the way to announce your presidency. Yi.
No.
Come on.
No, it's
Because they'll
not,
play
no.
nice with you. But I see him fucking with me like the SoFi Stadium, like 78 media outlets calling me an abuser based off something Trevor Noah said. Me being canceled from the Grammys. Me being said, they saying that I said a racial slur because I said, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, talking about Trevor Noah. And then they
I mean,
That is a racial slur. I'm not gonna lie.
when did this happen?
He
How
said,
did I didn't hear about
Talking about Trevor Noah, he literally called Trevor
this.
Noah.
He called them a raccoon. Yeah.
And
This was I didn't hear. This was in March. Holy shit!
wow.
Wow, I didn't hear about this at all. Damn. But that's a promise. It's like I kind of want to sit down with Kanye. I want to be like, Kanye, listen. You can call Trevor Noah like a piece of shit. You can call him. You can say he's a little dick. Says he's a little dick energy. Okay. You can call him a scumbag. You can call him a degenerate. You can call him whatever you want to call him. Just don't make it racial. Just don't make it racial, Kanye. That's the one thing. It's the one thing. Don't make it about race. And you're fine. Insult them however else you want. Just don't make it about race.
Yeah, totally.
J-Mac, our surrogate father, for $20, says, S-Class is correct class. I play Guess Who with my kids all the time.
J-Mac.
There
At
you go.
2, J-Mac.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said Adam was playing Guess the STD.
No, I would never play that game. Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Stay safe, guys. That's
Coon
game-
is a racial
that's
slur?
game
Of
you
course
don't
it's a
play.
racial slur. What do you mean?
Well, I
What
tried
do
to
you
look
mean,
it up.
Tatashi?
What does it mean?
It means a black person who's like betraying black people or is trying to act
Right.
like white or something. essentially.
I thought that was like the house black person.
Well, that is, but this is another way of saying it.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
all it says is like a disparaging slur for a black person, but it doesn't get to the meaning of it.
No, well, it's changed over time. Like I think originally it meant just it
Mm-hmm.
was just like another disparaging term for black people,
Mm-hmm.
but it became, at least the way that I seeing it being used now, it's I'm trying to remember there's a famous there's like a big blow up of this a couple years ago where like a lot of woke people were calling anti-woke black people coons essentially because they
Mm-hmm.
weren't woke. So it definitely has that. It has like a connotation of a black person who doesn't like black people,
Right.
at least nowadays. It's basically like calling someone an Uncle Tom, but in a far more,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
disparaging
Racial
way.
slur.
Right.
That's why Kanye doesn't seem to get that.
Well, he
Kanye
does.
read
That's why he
the
said it. I mean,
right. Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's the
But
entire
what is
joke
he?
behind
What's he trying to?
Cartman's superhero character. Yeah.
What is he trying to do though? He's trying to say that he should be allowed to use racial slurs, or that
Yeah, I guess.
it's not really a racial slur. I mean, I don't really know what his claim is here.
I guess he's saying he's fine that you should be able
Or
to
it's
call
okay
people
that
racial
he
slurs.
because he's black he can say racial slurs. I
Who
mean,
knows?
that's a defense people often use.
Though it's interesting because, and a weirdness, I bet if he would have called Trevor Noah the N-word, I don't think he would have got banned for that. Which is interesting. The rules of the game are very interesting, but
How much of this Guess Who have you played?
oh, I'm a Guess Who champion at him. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in college, I played professional Guess Who. hmm
I mean, it. Okay.
While you were out there partying, I was studying the ways of Guess Who.
When was Guess Who made? Let's see here. Guess Who? When was Guess Who made?
It's an old game, I think.
1979. Oh, I
Yes.
guess I could have played Guess.
Yeah, okay, exactly. That's what I like. So I didn't know what you were talking about. This is an old game.
Yeah. Okay.
They kicked me off the Grammys, and I was slated to win Album of the Year.
Oh, wait a
For
minute.
the first time
Uh-oh.
in my life. It's my 10th album.
Uh-oh. Guess Who? It's a two-player board game where players each guess identify the other's chosen character. The game was developed by Israeli game inventors. Oh
Really?
my God. Kanye was right. The Jewish media strikes again.
I guess so.
Guess who is the Jewish conspiracy? I had no idea. I had no idea. It's teaching kids to be racist.
I mean, I do see a lot of white faces in this Guess Who game.
Well, see, that's the problem is that
Not a lot of diversity going on here.
I remember like they made later versions where they added diversity, but it makes the game too easy. Because then you're like, well, are they white? And you say no, and it's like, okay, well, there's like half the board is gone from that. So it's like, well,
Since
it's
I
kind
don't
of the
know-
nature of the game.
Yeah, since I don't know how to play the game. I think I'm looking at an older version now, and it's all white people.
It's all white people. Yeah, it's all white people. Yeah.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Guess what? Get woke, go broke.
hmm
Diversity destroyed the game of Guess Who.
Album is the most number ones in Apple history, and I'm an incredible artist. It reached at this point,
Right.
and we don't even know who won Album of the Year. It got canceled by who? Jewish media. By the time 2024 runs around, the Jewish media, they're gonna be my friends, because you can't
Really?
just go into the White House like Trump did and have the entire American media against you. Because he can't get the work done. It's like having like 3 million Meek Mills at one time. At all times, every time you're talking, it's just Meek Mills, just talking shit about you. And you're trying to, show that. When the last time you heard North Korea? You know what I'm saying? Trump did that. He came out the gate, boom.
This is the only intelligible thing that Kanye has
He
said.
said, I know,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's
Very
weird because
true.
he acknowledges this, but I mean, do you think in 2 years the quote unquote Jewish media is going to be on Kanye's side?
It's difficult. I mean, definitely made it difficult for himself. Like he's put himself in an impossible place. He's basically said, I'm going to start at square one here. I'm really going to make them hate me as much as possible beforehand.
It's a bold strategy. I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to play out for him.
What I mean, even when he talks about the Jewish media, like, what is he talking about?
I don't know. He never explains anything. I guess he's just saying that all the media is run by Jews or something. And then
I do think people who are Jewish are not going to like him, and I do think
yes,
people who work in the media are not going to like him.
right.
And I do think Jewish people who work in the media
are going to extra not like him.
I mean, is all the media Jewish?
Well,
He did that. So
and the problem is, again, as I said, he's alienating himself from both teams.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get a lot of support.
I feel like that's like, for me as a musician, to mention the Jews is like North Korea for anyone else's career. And my dad said something to me because my dad was proud of the shirt. He understood it. I was like, why you like that? He said, white lives matter. And he like, cry face, cry face. I said, why was that funny to you, Dad? My dad don't know none of my rap lyrics, nothing like that. He's political, he a genius. He like Steve Jobs. He got a water purification center in the DR. This nigga's smart, right?
Yeah, relax, Dominican people. Go ahead.
So our focus is water, right? Our second most important resource. Our second most important resource to knowledge is water. Our third is food. Our fourth is shelter.
Let me ask you: have you seen that guy that created that system that gets water out of the atmosphere?
Yeah, I met with him before.
Excellent job trying to change the subject. I just want to compliment him on actually trying to get it. My bookmark is actually at 47, so we know it's an epic failure. Yeah, but congratulations, you tried.
And we need that. We need every version of how we could take salt water out of the atmosphere. But right now in America, say one of the laws that I would change is it's illegal to collect rainwater in America.
What?
Illegal?
It's illegal?
It's illegal to collect rainwater
You go to
in
every
America.
other country, they're collecting rainwater.
You know, people are controlling the water. You know, it's gonna be what T-shirt you wear, what political opinion, and who got beef with who.
No, I don't know anything about this. I know that there are some places that it is illegal to collect rainwater. Isn't this because the thought process, and I don't know if it's true, isn't it like if everyone collects rainwater, you're basically taking water that will be reabsorbed back into the clouds, like away from that system?
I have no idea.
I'm assuming that's the thought process behind why it would be illegal to collect rainwater.
Or you're taking water away from the water table.
Oh, it says, okay, wait, so this is an urban legend. It says out of 48 states, only Colorado and Utah heavily regulate homeowners from harvesting rainwater on their property.
Right.
So actually, this is not even true. So never mind.
Didn't figure it was.
You ain't got no water. You ain't got no life.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you, because, you know, a lot of people they want to call me crazy. It's like running a marathon. If I got some shorts on and a tank top and I'm sweating hard as hell, running down a street, running the wrong way down a freeway, then you're gonna say that person is crazy. But if 100 other people do it with me, then it's a marathon.
That's a good way to put it.
Killed that.
Yeah.
Killed that.
I don't know that I buy that analogy either. Like if 100 other people do it with you, just, you know, because you're doing it, I don't necessarily know you'd call that a marathon, but.
Well, it's just listen, the hosts are very desperate.
I know they
for
are.
like a win here. So they're like, listen, Kanye said something that's like generic wisdom you'd find in a fortune cookie. So, you know, we have to clap.
Well, wait a second. He's gone 10 seconds without talking about the Jews. Let's see if he can go any longer.
Right.
So some of the stuff, I'm the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Or Candace Owens is the first person that's saying it.
Right.
Then another person sees it and say, I kind of feel you. Floyd Mayweather might say, oh, I feel you. And then Steve Harvey might say, I feel where you're coming from. There's a lot of black conservatives. You know, the liberal agenda is to take God out of the homes and separate the families. With that, you're gonna get mayhem. You're gonna get Mad Max on the other side. The conservative agenda is still that God runs the world. And I'm Christian, and I feel like I got the best taste on the planet. So
I thought you were Jewish.
That's Jesus. I'm Jesus gang.
Okay.
But the Jewish people and the Muslims are all sons of Abraham also. And what Farrakhan would talk about right now is for the Jewish people, what I'm doing is I'm Me Tooing the Jewish culture. I'm saying, y'all gotta.
Dude, he's Me Tooing you. You know what that means?
He's saying the Jews raped.
He's saying the Jews raped the black culture. That's exactly
Right.
what he said.
Yes.
I don't. You might want to run that by your political advisors, your campaign advisors, before you throw that one out there.
Gotta stand up and admit to what y'all been doing. And y'all just got away with it for so long that y'all don't even realize what y'all doing. And it's like, y'all can't fuck with me either because y'all behind that gated fence, y'all soft, your hands got soft. You ain't out here getting beat up every day like me. You ain't out here getting called crazy every day like me. You ain't out here getting your family snatched like me. You ain't out here half your culture getting aborted like me. You ain't out here getting outraged with false narratives like BLM like me. So for all the Jewish media, y'all want to sit down and have a conversation with me? Then let's have a conversation. But you ain't gonna send Harley Pasternak, Puff Daddy, Meek Mills, Kim Kardashian, none of the usual suspects and get me to stop talking. You're going to have to take my life. I don't care if you Black Mirror me. I don't care if you do some of the alternative, what the thing was, show me talking, saying somebody didn't say. I don't care if you have me fucking a goat on camera. I don't care what you do. You're going to have, yeah. And by the way.
So wait, so Kanye, what he's saying, because it's hard to parse what he's saying. He's saying he thinks that the Jewish media is going to deepfake Kanye saying things he didn't say and deepfake, video him fucking goats and things to discredit. Why would anyone need to deepfake anything? He's doing a very good job kind of blowing himself up at this point.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, I might, if I saw a video of him fucking a goat, I might actually just believe it. I might think that it was true.
He's right. He's making it so that you would believe it. Yeah, you're right.
Before this,
even like that,
I would have had my suspicions. Now I'm just like, yeah, Kanye's kind of lost his mind.
I mean, is it a Jewish goat?
Yeah, who knows? Someone could have told him it was Jewish, and he's like, I'm gonna go fuck that goat.
And if you take my life, there's gonna be some college kid, some young Ye, some young Pac that's gonna even go harder. It's gonna, y'all thought George Floyd was gonna send it up. If you took my life right now, you're gonna see something you never saw. So we might as well have a conversation because I love
Let's
you.
have the conversation.
I love the media platform.
And we love Jewish people.
And
we love Jewish people.
We love Jewish people. But I'm very.
He's so trying. He's so trying.
It's like, Kanye, we love Jewish people. Stop, please.
He's trying to throw him a lifeline here, but he doesn't take it.
Mad. I have a problem. Because I love
Let's
you.
have the conversation.
I love the media platform.
And we love Jewish people.
And
we love Jewish people.
We love Jewish people. But I'm very mad. I have a problem. The conversation ain't over. It ain't okay, yay, clarify. It ain't nothing to be clarified until we have a conversation. You got Jamie Lee Curtis on TV talking about, I hope they take his children away from him.
Yeah.
It's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The queen is in the house.
But it can't be.
But why is someone asking Jamie Lee Curtis about Kanye's? What does that have to do with anything?
She probably just tweeted or something, and he was like pissed about it.
Just some random celebrity that just commented on it. Is she even Jewish? I didn't know anything. I didn't think she was Jewish.
I don't think she is, but I mean, I don't know about.
Oh wow, she's like Pete Davidson. Her father is Jewish, but her mother's not.
Okay. So according to you, she's not Jewish.
Wow. I don't know. It depends how she doesn't say how she was raised though.
I mean, I don't feel I'm qualified to make a assessment on whether or not Kanye should keep his kids or not.
Well, he's doing a very bad job. He's doing a very bad job showing the world, whether he can be a good father or not at this moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Narrowed down to like you're saying. You're saying Jewish media, but it's the media. There's people obviously in
I'm not
in
narrowing down. I want Jews.
so this guy's like so desperate. He's like really trying to be like, wait a minute, Kanye, listen,
Yeah, we got to be clear here.
be clear here. And Kanye's like, fuck you.
He's like, yeah.
It can't be narrowed down to like you're saying. You're saying Jewish media, but it's the media. There's people obviously in
I'm not narrowing down. I want Jewish children to look at their daddy and say, why is Jay mad at us?
Dude,
I want all the kids that love my shoes and love my songs to say, why is Jay mad? What if
they are going to say that, but it's because you're just being the most racist person ever. Like, they're going to be like, Daddy, why is he such a racist against us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. He thinks though that the Jewish dad is going to turn to their kid and go, well, I have something to tell you, son.
Let me take you to the secret Jew war room where we
Yeah.
talk about how we're stealing money from black people.
Exactly. That's what he thinks. Oh God,
Yeah.
this is so bad.
have you done to his people, to the darker Jews, to our brothers, that has Jay speaking up, that had Nick Cannon
if we're
speaking up?
Daddy,
Jeez.
what did you do to him? Like they're going to turn to their dad. I know this is all your fault.
Well, this is, as you said, this is the narcissistic personality right here.
Yeah,
He
totally.
thinks he'd have this kind of effect. But that's another classic symptom of mania, too.
Yeah.
And he's defending Nick Cannon, who Nick Cannon is going way further than all this because he was believing the Yakub story.
Yeah, we have in our back catalog, we covered Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon did one of these podcasts where he started going into the whole Yakub thing. That might have been where I first learned it from Sitch because Sitch knows all this stuff. I'm like, oh man, just the insanity of it all.
If you say
That
blacks,
Ice Cube speaking up. What'd you say?
when you say blacks is Jews,
Blacks
then
are Jews
we
also.
gotta say we love Jewish people. Then we love Jewish people.
Look at okay, this guy.
Look at Kanye's face.
So this guy's smart. He's like,
Yes.
listen, didn't you? He came out with your argument. He's like, well, you're saying black people are Jewish, so that means we love Jewish people, right? Kanye's like, oh no, not the white Jews, not those white Jewish people.
Right. I just like that's a screenshot. That's for the thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
That face that Kanye's making right now. He's like, I don't know about that.
Let me screenshot that up. Go ahead.
Nice.
We got great. I love Jewish
Okay.
people.
Look, he mulls it over for a second. You see that?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yes.
he's thinking about it.
Yes.
I don't know.
Hey, so I'm gonna be like,
My homie's a Nicaraguan Jew. His dad came from Poland, escaped the Holocaust, and his mom is Nicaraguan.
And
He would
guess-
be like, I don't know what's going on.
and by the way, we haven't escaped the Holocaust. We still in it. Plan B, Planned Parenthood.
Oh my
we are
God.
still in the Holocaust. Even the information put in our music.
Are Jewish people controlling Planned Parenthood though? I mean, he makes it sound like this
Well,
is
it's like,
like a thing.
Well, it's insane. It's like people of their own free will and choice go get abortions.
Of course.
Comparing that to the Holocaust, where
That's
people were rounded up
ridiculous.
and
Yeah.
put into work camps until they died, or shot, or put in ovens, or put into toxic showers. Like this is insane. It's a totally insane
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even make sense too, because like they always use like the disproportionate argument, but there's like millions of white people that get abortions every year too.
Yeah. Of
It's not like
course.
it's just only black people that get abortions.
Yeah. Sure, even some Jewish people get abortions.
Yeah, of course they do.
The toxicity put in our music. There's nothing promoting the idea of a king taking care of a queen and then taking care of the future kings and the future queens. It's just us talking about killing each other and Jewish people getting paid off of it.
Was this see? I hate
Whose fault
this.
is that?
This is classic like woke bullshit. Why is it like a music producer? Say that there's some rapper is a Jewish music producer. Okay, why is it his fault or is their fault or her fault, whoever the fuck it is? Why is it their fault if a rapper, the Jews didn't decide for rap to be about like negative messaging for the black community. That was not a Jewish decision to do that. That was entirely black musical artists rapping about these things and it becoming popular.
Yep.
And so they continue to rap about these things. This was not a Jewish creation or idea. And it's just totally like a complete lack of responsibility for people in their own situation and for people promoting a toxic message that fucking Kanye has been part of for his entire life.
I know. Yeah. Like I said, zero responsibility.
Yes, it's like fuck you. Like take some responsibility for your work.
Remember what
no
he said?
one ever said you can't, that rap had to be about all this shit. No one ever said that. That was a decision that the individual artist made.
Remember when he said the left is about driving religion out of the home and the right is about personal responsibility? Oh,
Yes.
wait, he didn't say anything about personal
No, right.
responsibility.
And then the part of the problem with this like Jewish conspiracy theory too, it doesn't even make sense because what is the most popular musical genre in the country among white people?
Rap music.
It's black artists.
Yeah.
So how exactly, like, if there's a Jewish conspiracy to keep black people down and out of American culture, they're doing a pretty shit job because they're doing literally the exact fucking opposite that you're talking about, Kanye. They're kind of making black music the most popular thing in the country among a majority white audience. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Didn't he embrace gospel music because he wanted to make his music more uplifting? I thought he did.
I don't know. Well, that's fine. Then they're good. So get everyone else on, go get everyone else on board with that shit. Why are you complaining about, the Jews?
His next album is going to be called The JQ. I guarantee it. It's like, this is so weird.
He's going to, no, here's what he's going to do. He's going to have a kid with someone else. And he's going to name them Jeremiah Quincy West. So that their initials are JQ.
Oh, no way. That's so... He's going to do it without knowing it. Hey, let's go to Ukraine. What do you say?
You want to wrap up? There's so much more in this conversation.
Okay, we can keep going.
Let's see. Let me see if they get to the end of this section because this was an important section.
So I could be like a parent that I got a belt, so it's like, bow, I love you, but bow. It's I love you, but it's still up. It's up until we get it fixed.
Is he talking about beating the Jewish community now with a
Yes,
belt?
he's saying that he's like a parent disciplining a child. He is disciplining the Jewish community. Yes, that's what he's saying.
Wow. That's not real good imagery.
No.
This is not going to go well.
Until we get it fixed. It's not we're going to calm down because you done fucked with me and you done fucked with my people too much.
And then he does the thing that pisses Adam off all the time. He's like, my people.
Right.
I speak for the entire black community here.
Right.
You could throw whatever tag you want. You could call me a racist. You can call me everything already. Right. What I got to lose? My 6-year-old son came to choir practice and said, why I gotta sing? I'm not even going to your school. This is a billionaire a male billionaire with the face of Kim Kardashian. If he's saying that to me now, who is he at 16? Who is he at 26? By 26, he might be in jail because I can't say nothing to him because they took me out the house.
Well, teaching your kid not to be responsible for his actions and blames the Jews isn't really going to help him. But what's the part with the Ukraine? What's the time code?
Oops. Let's see here. 2:27:43.
Okay. 2:27. There's a lot more. There's a lot more time codes, but it's really just the same thing again and again.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just blame the Jews, blame the Jews, blame the Jews.
Jews are responsible for everything.
Right.
none of it's my fault. We really got to band together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the black community versus the Jewish community is basically what he's trying to incite. So,
Write Ye off as crazy that they could go to the extreme of kidnapping my child in real life. Yeah, I would like to have Kim as my wife, but on God's terms, not on the Hollywood media's terms. Not, hey, I'm married to Hollywood, I'm Marilyn Monroe, I'm listening to Corey, I'm listening to Hillary Clinton. No, we listening to God. Because if you take a family, it's like a pyramid. The father is there, the mom is there.
The Trinity.
When y'all get closer to God, y'all get closer to each other.
Right. Oh, the Trinity, yeah.
Real shit. We respect that.
Yeah.
We respect that. We love that.
Yeah.
Let me ask a presidential question.
Oh,
Let's just say in one future, you're running for president, right? And we're still in the quagmire that is the Ukraine war.
I made y'all see the 2024. Why he's talking.
What would a President Ye do to avoid what might be World War III?
I'm
in
ending
Ukraine?
all wars.
How?
2024, we ended all wars. Because wars.
But how do you end wars? Don't just say end wars. You gotta have real
Because
tactic
war is made off of greed and deceit.
and economy as well.
Economy. But there is a free economy that the world has created for us that needs to be simplified by me. I am the visionary. I can end war. I can end war. We can end war.
But how?
collectively.
You don't just say
he's pushing back at him. He's
I
going
know.
hard.
I'm happy. I'm glad because Kanye's making a bold claim here. He's saying he can end all war. Okay, vote for me. I can end all war. Right.
This is the typical rich celebrity, okay?
Yes.
They just spout off whatever bullshit comes to mind. Everyone's like, oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, we can just end all war.
Right. Right.
You're a genius, Kanye. Right. But now Kanye's actually faced with someone who's like, no, seriously.
Right.
No, seriously. Well, how do you do that?
So good on skinnier Rob Reiner here for pushing back.
Skinny Rob Reiner?
Yeah.
Who's Rob Reiner? No, I'm just kidding.
For saying, wait a minute, like literally, how are you going to end war? Okay.
Yeah.
Say that. Give me, if you were the presidential candidate, what would you say? How would you end it?
You know, the biggest thing is I can see things. I live 20 years ahead. Everything I do is like something someone would do.
As you should.
20 years ahead,
Right.
right? So it's laying out the plans. The same way how I laid out the blueprint for Blueprint.
But you got to give us a layman. You're going to be speaking to...
So I don't know. Have you ever? I've seen videos like when I was taking all my psych classes. I remember seeing videos of people who were in the midst of a manic episode, and this is literally how they talk. And this is why it's is sad because, like that concept of you ask them a direct question and they say, "I can see the future," and they never give you a specific. That's a very huge tell for someone in a manic episode is to say that like that concept repeatedly.
Well, they got him doing shots and stuff like that. So getting inebriated as well.
Probably doesn't help either.
Yeah. But I agree. Yeah. He's like grasping at straws here.
I can see the future. I can change the system. Yeah, but how? But I can see the future.
You don't understand. I would figure it out. Just trust me. Trust me, brah.
They don't understand anything.
Here's the rap language. I made the blueprint for Blueprint. I made the blueprint for Blueprint.
Right.
As a vessel of God. Not me. God is actually the only artist. This is the thing. God runs the world. In this situation, we came up with the idea of not like, oh, DEFCON 3, but hey, I'm jealous of Jewish people. Why? Because they don't abort their people, because their families stick together, because they do business together, because they don't shoot each other dead in the street.
So to be clear, what he said was, so Blueprint was an album that Kanye put out. Okay. So what he is implying is that when I was working on Blueprint, this album, I was channeling God to make this music. And so I guess he's saying if I was president, I would channel God to end war.
Right.
Like trust, vote for me. I will channel God to solve the problems.
Brilliant
Like, oh,
strategy.
yeah. Okay.
4 reasons for me to be jealous of the Jewish culture. We made that today. I don't have the exact answer in front of us today in 2024, but Moses had 4 chapters. So when he dropped the 10 commandments, and someone screamed out, what are we going to do about the sea over there?
Right.
Oh, by the time we get to the sea, I guarantee you God's going to give me a staff to part it.
Right.
But right now, we're here dealing with the Jewish comment, blah, blah, blah. That's like kind of the main thing.
So, and this came up years ago. This is why I've never liked Kanye. Like years and years ago, he said, if they wrote the Bible today, I would be the main character.
Right. He's
He
just
said
an
this, like-
egomaniac.
Right. He said that years ago. I remember being like, okay, bro, you make music that people like. You ain't no Jesus. I
Right.
don't know how to
yeah.
tell you something. Just because you make music doesn't make you Jesus. And then I remember people were like poo-pooing me, like, no, Sitch. Like, this is part of his brand, his persona. He's a rapper. He's just doing like a bit. I was like, okay. And here we are, decade later. And he's like, vote for me for president. I can guarantee you that when I'm tasked with a situation, God will provide the answer to me in that moment because
Yeah.
I am the chosen person. I am Moses. God speaks to me.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
oh,
just
man.
a narcissist. He's a total narcissist. It's funny
Yes.
that a lot of people call Trump a narcissist, and I think there's a lot of evidence that Trump is a narcissist. But this
This is like a
just,
whole nother level.
I know. This is like Trump squared, man. This
Right.
is like off the charts narcissist.
Yes.
And nobody has checked him. God, I can't imagine. I never watched the Kardashian television show, so I don't know Kim Kardashian. Like, I have no idea
I never eat it, yeah.
what she's like, but I just imagine being married to this guy. Jesus Christ. That's got to be insane. Look, he's the thing here is, so they're trying to get him off on Ukraine and brings it back obviously to the Jewish thing. But
Right.
he thinks this is him walking back the DEF CON tweet. Cuz he's like, that's why I'm here. Here, listen to what he's saying now. Did you catch it?
Yeah.
By the time we get to the sea, I guarantee you God's going to give me a staff to part it. But right now, we're here dealing with the Jewish comment, blah, blah, blah. That's like kind of the main thing. And we solved it. We, matter of fact, made something that brought all the Jewish people in and the black people in together. So going from the person that turned his back on black people with the White Lives Matter and then was anti-Semite with the DEFCON 3 comment, we've now brought it in together.
And you told George Bush he don't like black people.
that happened also.
Come on.
But
Let's
this,
not.
Sorry. I just wanted to like, I really feel like it's important, like right now, like,
yeah.
Okay, so before I think he presses on Ukraine again, which is good. But so you're right. Kanye, in his mind, I guess this
know.
is the narcissism. He thinks that somehow he's going to bring Jewish and black people together through this comment and through this conversation he's having right now.
This is him fixing the tweet. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's doing the Ozymandias. He's like, listen, I will be the monster. He's doing the Garo from One Punch Man. He's like, I will be the monster that everyone hates that unites the world against me.
Maybe that's it. That's actually, that could be happening here, because I know a lot of people were pissed about this podcast, and the guy,
Right.
the black host here. Well, I don't. Are they both black?
That guy's not black, no.
Are you sure?
He's like white Hispanic or something.
Oh, okay.
Look, he's not fucking black. Get out of here.
What? There's a lot of black people that are like light skinned. So.
Okay.
But yeah. Obviously this is not going the way that Kanye thinks it's going, and the
No.
fact that the host kind of denounced him in the video that I saw, I feel
Yes.
like Kanye is probably going to be super pissed.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
This is like
he think-
there's that old episode of Family Guy where Peter and Lois are gonna start a band,
Mhm.
and they're like, we need to get high to play good music, and so they get high and then they play like an awesome song, but you see that it was all in their mind that it was awesome, and for everyone else they're just on stage going like ma 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 ma. Like, it's just like a
Exactly.
disaster. Like that's Kanye's like situation right now, which is why it's sad, because he like literally is in the midst of a manic episode and he can't perceive reality correctly. I would
Yeah,
assume that's what's
he's
happening.
unmoored from reality.
Right.
the war in Ukraine, could spill over into a nuclear war. We don't know. We don't know. It could be World War III.
Biden got money in Ukraine. You understand
we
that,
know
right?
that it's nefarious what's going on.
You understand Biden has money in Ukraine.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Did you see this part? I haven't.
I
seen
did see this part. I did see this part. That's pretty hilarious.
So he's going to the Hunter Biden trough.
So
here.
yeah, so the guy's like, "What do we do about Ukraine?" And then Kanye's first response is, "Trust me, God will show me the answer." And the guy says, "That's not good enough." And he's like, "Listen, what about Biden having money?"
I know.
in
He
Ukraine?"
goes straight for the whataboutism.
Yes.
What would I do? Well, what about Biden? What's Biden
listen,
doing?
I
Biden's
will
trying to
give-
protect his money. He doesn't want his money nuked.
I will give Kanye credit. I mean, this is a political maneuver. This is definitely a politician in the making. God's on my side, and then when you ask him again, he says, "But what about my opponent?"
I know. He knows.
So
We
what
start
is
there.
Kanye? What is Ye doing?
And that's
to this?
that's out of being selfish, right? You know what I'm saying? I'd be fine to not have any money whatsoever and be able to make the monasteries. That is my main focus, is the monasteries.
But you fuck with Putin back in the days.
Absolutely. And Putin would love a monastery also. He's an Orthodox Christian, right? So let's ask the head of Ukraine, is he Orthodox Christian?
Head of Ukraine, you bring us out here.
Zelensky's.
Hold on. Does he not know that Zelensky's Jewish?
He doesn't. I'm shocked. I really thought he was going to bring it up. He doesn't actually.
He doesn't.
I mean, he just
I mean,
sort
you
of
can-
implies it, but so wait. He sounds like he's saying that his way to bring peace to Ukraine and Russia is that he would build monasteries in Ukraine and Russia, and that would make Putin not invade the country because
Yeah.
there's monasteries there. Okay.
Oh my God, Putin would love this guy.
You can ask him.
He's a comedian. He's actually
the nigga
You
was
can
a
ask him. He used to be an actor. You can
He's a
ask him.
comedian. Yeah, he's a comedian.
He's a
yeah.
comedian. You can ask him. I guarantee you could get him, here, because, you know what I mean? So,
I doubt we'll get him here, but we could get him here. Kind of.
I think you could get him here.
We think we get him.
So what was the question then?
No, I just wanted to know what you thought. What would you do to avoid World War III in this situation?
The world is led by the least noble and the most greedy. These wars and this threat of people dying are based off of Biden and his son's account, Josh Kushner's account. It's based off of a few really greedy people that want to run the world, and they don't care who dies or who they leave miserable in their tracks because of it. My two daddies.
So somehow, Putin invading Ukraine is because of Joe Biden and Josh Kushner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Stunning
okay.
political analysis. Here.
Right. All right.
Don't live like that. That's not what they built, and that's not who they built me to be. I already showed you multiple times, even when I
who's the
said,
two daddies? Pops and God.
yeah.
I respect that.
So I showed you when I said Beyonce had the best video. I put myself at risk for the truth.
It was real.
I will put myself at risk for the truth.
Oh my God. He's even defending that. Holy shit. Remember that? When he came up with, who's it? What's her name? The singer that won the Grammy, and he
Right.
came up on stage and he said, Beyonce was like supposed to win this.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
was I'm blank? Oh, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, yeah. And she's just standing there looking like shocked and like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I do remember.
And Beyonce was like really fucking pissed at him. Like, are you kidding me? Like, why would you do that?
It sounded like so racist, obviously.
I didn't think it was racist. I mean, I guess I kind of perceive it as racist now because of what he's saying. I didn't
Of
perceive it as
course.
racist at the time. I just thought like he's just an asshole. But even he's still to this day. When was that? That was in 2009. Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
he's still like over 10 years later, still holding on to this, like, I was speaking truth to power. It's like, fuck you. You're just
Yeah.
an asshole.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's completely doesn't know that he's a giant a-hole.
Right.
Like he's completely delusional about it.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Taylor,
George
I'm really
Bush sound
happy
like-
for you. I'm gonna let you finish. That was like a great internet meme back in the day. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, I
Oh my
mean,
God.
there are people that will do shit like that for attention. Kanye, I don't think is one of them. I think it's just all dumb
Just,
luck.
it's just all narcissism, yeah.
Like black people. Let's not forget that.
I put myself at risk for the truth.
Because right now they be saying Kanye don't like black people. It's a little weird.
I'm taking a piece at the same time. Sorry.
Okay,
What'd you say?
I got this. Go ahead.
I kind of got to use the restroom too. I ain't
All
gonna
right, go.
All right, let's do super chats.
Okay.
You got further than me. I just got to the Ukraine part and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy.
It's more the same. It's more the same. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. Kanye. I don't think I'm going to vote for Kanye in 2024,
No.
to be honest with
Do
you.
you regret voting for Kanye?
I do regret it. Yeah, I didn't know he was such a anti-Semite.
I know.
I mean, he seems racist all around, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that sucks.
Jamie Lee Curtis said she burst into tears hearing Kanye's comments. Are they like friends or something? Why would she burst into tears? That's such a bizarre reaction to that.
These comments, or I mean,
The tweet.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Like, give me a break, Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, get a hold of yourself.
That's a little weird. Yeah.
That's a little strange. Okay, a little strange.
Not worth crying about. I mean, I'm not
No.
losing any sleep over this.
No. Capper Sabansky, thanks so much for the 10 Plutonians. Says, so I guess no President Kanye in 2024. Yep. No Kanye.
Does not appear that way, no.
There you go. There you go. Micro Amiga, thanks so much for your 7 months. Free Will Seeker says, behold my awesome milestone. Behold. Thank you, Micro.
4 months is
Micro
awesome.
Omega, sorry.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Silence, you idiot, for $20. Thank you so much. Says, here's my weekly fund. Was listening to Sunday's Matt Walsh show at the end of work today. I was thinking, cattle, where have I heard this word before? Then I remember Vosh used it a lot in his debate over Andrew Tate. I never watched Vosh's Andrew Tate debate.
Bosch debated Andrew Tate?
No, he debated a guy on whether Andrew Tate should be banned. And I saw Destiny covered it where he said that Vosh sucked in that conversation, but I never listened to it. Supposedly he just did terrible. I listened to part of Vosh's conversation with Michael Tracy, and it was just like, Jesus.
Crazy.
So bad.
I just barely started it. I didn't really finish it, so.
Well, it's one of these situations, I hate it. It's one of these situations where I don't like either side of the conversation, and it's just like, Vosh is when Vosh debated Sargon on this channel, years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically that, but with Michael Tracy essentially. So, and no amazing moderation by Adam.
Of course, they're joking around in the comments. So I
see that Adam has money in Ukraine. Yes.
I sent all the comic money to Ukraine. Sorry.
Oh, you donated all the comic money.
We can't print the book, guys. Sorry, all the money's in Ukraine.
Guys, there's a war happening right now. Isn't that more important than the comic?
I know. Jeez, give me a break already.
Sobek for $20 says, growing up, there's a lot of animosity between blacks and Hasidic Jews, yes. And a lot of that spilled over into Jews as a whole because we often don't know the difference. It's super messed up. You'd think we'd have the most in common. True. Well, I think that's why a lot of, not Hasidic Jews, but I think that's why a lot of Jews were very involved in the civil rights movement, were very involved with the black community, because they did feel like they empathized with the plight, based off of their own history.
Yeah, they'd gone through it in the 40s and 50s. Everyone in America was a giant anti-Semite.
Yeah, right. So,
of course.
That's why it's kind of ironic now that there's all this anti-Jew sentiment from some black people.
How quickly that vanishes when you don't have those experiences.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and there is an element here that's sort of annoying too, because I understand that, just because you're rich doesn't mean you don't have problems. But, Kanye West is like a billionaire. He's like one of the richest people in the country. and to hear him sort of like whining about all of his life's problems when he's a famous celebrity who's a billionaire. He's like one of the most famous people in the entire world, one of the richest people in the entire world, and he's like, "Woe is me! I'm being canceled because I'm saying like very racist shit." You're like,
Right.
well,
We
all
got to
right.
understand he's super powerful, but he can't say the racist garbage that he wants to say. So that's got to feel super constricting for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's painful.
Right. Sobek, thanks so much for the $5. Says, "This is my Padme moment."
Oh no.
Kanye, you're going down a path I can't follow. You're breaking my heart.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
There
I
you
feel
go.
this.
I like
I
it.
feel exactly the same.
Like it, yeah. Oh. The guy, thanks so much for being a 4-month free will seeker, says Christian identity people make the same claims as the Black Hebrew Israelites, but for Northern Europeans. Really? I didn't know about that. That's interesting. People want to be Jews without being Jewish. Everyone wants to be the chosen people.
I think
there's
there's some brand of evangelical that does that as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the chosen people thing. It's so cool. Like it's the best branding in the world.
That's true. Though, I mean, I guess it makes sense because since Christianity is like, the sequel to Judaism, like
Yeah.
that's probably why. Because Jesus was Jewish, and so you got to feel like there's some like lineal connection to Jesus through your blood. Blah 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 all that stuff.
How can you go wrong if God chooses you? Like
That's right.
if God says I choose you, you're oh man.
God is the ultimate Pokemon master.
Of course.
Paul Sensi, thanks so much for being a Free Will Seeker, for joining the Free Will Seekers. Thank you. Goro Cero for $2 says EFAP 209 at 44 minutes and 20 seconds. Fringy concedes to Adam.
What? Really?
About what? Wait a minute.
Hold on, I gotta write that down.
EFAP 209. The Rings of Power is over, and it was a horrendous display. We can check that out right now.
Oh, you can bring it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so. We gotta watch it.
I'm gonna be mad if he concedes to Adam when it was really me, because it was we weren't talking to Fringy, we were talking to Rags. And I said Gladriel is going to end up helping Sauron, and he didn't think so.
I thought he was gonna.
Well, off.
I meant Rags, not you.
God.
Okay, so the dispute was between you two. I always thought Gladriel was.
Well, it wasn't a dispute. You're making it sound a lot more like he was like though he did add to it, which I agreed to. He said if that's the case, it probably won't make sense. To which I said, you are correct. It will not make any sense.
Disagreement, beef, feud.
So okay, well let's see what's happening.
Argument.
It's just ignoring all of it for a setup.
Yeah, this is a time to give us some more context, because this is the biggest political event of the Dwarven and Elven alliance, quote unquote, that there could ever be, and it's just like, nah.
Pretty much.
And yeah, there's a lot of, and this is the other thing, by the way. I think you are correct that they'll have to go back to Valinor and they won't be able to remain in Middle Earth. But the problem is they keep framing it as though they're going to die. The elves will die. They keep using language like the dwarves are under the impression that they will die. Not that I expect that war should break out. It's that I get desperate if this is good.
Okay, this doesn't seem like the right time code, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even see Fringy's avatar on the thing. Unless did he change his avatar to be blue now?
I don't know.
Anyway.
He's a bluebird.
Check it out later. J-Mac, thanks so much for the $20. Says, banks don't care how much you have in there. You call and you're getting the hold music.
True.
So, Bilbo says you're on the wrong video. Well, what's the right video? Goro said EFAP 209. That's EFAP 209. What's the right video?
It definitely says EFAP 209.
Yeah. Janos Kuhn. Thank you so much, Janos Kuhn, for joining the Free Will Seekers. I thought you already were a Free Will Seeker, Janos, but thank you. I'm a god for $2 says, are Juice Pro or Juice Pro or anti Amber Heard?
Jews. They say Jews.
Oh, our Jews.
Yeah.
That's a
Pro or anti her.
There's a $1 million question. Right.
I think who is pro Amber Heard at this point. So
Only like super woke feminist.
yeah, so no,
But,
I'm gonna guess no.
Bilbo says, "I just told you about this, Sitch. You have to need the original stream. Did you tell me about this? I don't remember.
You need the original stream, not the re-upload.
I have to
Oh,
remember the goldfish guy. So
they
people say
edited,
things to me and it just goes in one ear, not the other.
they edited it out because
Oh my God.
they edited out the concession. Is that what
They
you're
edited it
saying?
out. That Adam was correct. I mean, you should, whenever Adam is proven correct, you should edit it out of the video. So
The
that's fair.
re-upload is longer. So the time code moves. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
how are we gonna find it then?
Yeah, well then you
we
have to
don't
give us
have a
time code
link.
on the re-upload.
Or you
Frankie
have to
did
give us
change
a
to a
link.
blue what is it called? Cassowary?
Avatar. It's
Is it a
called an avatar.
cassowary or an email? How could he change his avatar after so long? You're not allowed to do that. It can't be blue. You've been green for so many years. Imagine if
Oh
I
my
just changed.
God.
What if I should just do that? What if I just made my avatar blue from now on? People lose their minds.
That'd be cool.
Electric Elephant, thanks so much for the 5 Aussies. Says, Adam, as an artist, how do you hate AI art? How do you not hate AI art? It will end a massive industry forever and separate art from people, and the creation process makes me suicidal.
Don't go there. I mean, geez. Are you obviously I think you must be an artist, but the AI art is only coming up with images based off of prompts. It's kind of like just a random image generator. So I don't think as an artist you should be worried about it.
I completely disagree with you.
Why?
There will be a time period, I think, where not always, there will always be people that create art, obviously, but I think it will be a huge blow to artists being able to make money, because it will come to a point where instead of paying an artist to make a picture, you will pay a person who's good at making prompts, essentially, to get the computer to basically draw everything that you want to draw.
Well, it depends on, first of all, it's very difficult to make money as an artist
Already, yes,
yeah.
right.
So
this is going to make it even more difficult.
we're working on a comic now. You couldn't do what we're doing with the AI art generation. You could do backgrounds with it, sure, but you couldn't put together the entire comic with it. Actually, it'd be very helpful for backgrounds because it would make doing backgrounds a lot faster.
True. Right.
So I would think that would be helpful and not hurtful in a situation. I guess if you're a background artist, yes, like the AI would do the backgrounds instead of you doing the backgrounds. So that would be bad. But, I don't necessarily know that background artists have made a lot of money anyway.
Right.
And we're kind of moving in the direction where if you want to make money as an artist, your goal is to build your own audience like we're doing and develop something unique yourself. So, I mean, I guess if you're making money as an artist doing, nudie anime stuff and posting it on Patreon or something like that, I'd say, the AI is probably going to put you out of business. But
yeah, I mean, I clicked on that that hashtag on Sunday and it's just like nothing but porn.
Right. Is that all that artists are doing? And art, when you're talking,
there are people, I've seen people that have done entire comic book panels out of AI generation.
Yeah, but an entire comic book.
I don't know if they've done an entire comic. I've seen entire panels. I mean, and it's only the tech. I mean, we're still in this is just the beginning, and this technology is the power of AI generated art is increasing exponentially at a rate that's astronomical almost.
Right. So you're saying that I could just type in a description of the page and the AI could make the page?
Well, in the future,
I mean,
I think in the very near future, yes. I think in the very near future, it'll be pretty simple for a writer to write a script and put that script in and out into a program, and it will generate a comic.
Mid-Journey.
Yeah.
It's Mid-Journey, right? Midjourney does amazing things, and I played a lot with Midjourney. Midjourney is awesome, right?
Right.
But where it breaks down is as soon as you tell it, I want a specific thing.
Yeah,
It's
but that's
like
just now.
you could tell it in general, give me something that's, generally like this, and it'll give you something cool. But as soon as you want a specific thing, I mean, you're going to need to be an artist or pay an artist to.
Well, yeah, I think there will be a time period where someone said, yeah, the scripts will be written by AI too. There will be a time period where you could have the AI basically create the base picture, and then you might still need to hire an artist to like fix it up. But
Yes, that's.
But I really think
a
in like
thing.
5 years from now, it would be pretty simple in 5 years for someone to generate an entire comic or something of that caliber with just prompts and AI and everything. Because we went from like AI art not even being a thing to it being a massive thing in the course of like a year and a half.
Right. Well, I mean, they've been developing software, image manipulation software for more than just a year and a half. I mean, it's obviously been popularized in the last
I'm
year
not
and a
saying,
half,
well,
but
I'm not talking about image manipulation. I'm talking about using AI generated. I don't know if they've been doing AI generated art that long.
as an art, I mean, first of all, the AI generators are, as an artist, I'm 100% in favor of. Like, this is a great tool for an artist to take their work to the next level. Like, this is it. So I'm not worried about competing against AI. I'm using AI as a tool to like up
Right,
my
but
game. So I don't.
it depends because like if you're an artist who's like you are selling directly to your audience,
Mhm.
then you are correct. But if you're an artist who's being hired by someone else,
What artist is
I think
not
it's a little
selling?
different.
Like, this is the thing.
What do you mean? Most artists are being paid by someone else to draw a picture or to draw a comic or to do something. That's like most artists, isn't
Since
it?
when?
Okay, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Like,
I
who's
thought it was mostly like commission work and stuff.
who's? I mean, if you're in fine art, you're selling your name. You're basically,
Okay, well,
people are
I'm not
buying
talking.
work because it's
I'm not
it's
talking about fine art. It's like a whole nother
okay.
animal.
So you're talking about, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the
Illustration?
young up and comer people that are doing art
Illustration is
today.
the same thing. People are buying it because, it's, you're the artist.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see.
What do
Hey.
you, I'm questioning, how do you think artists make money?
By what do you mean by?
Somebody says, hey, I need you to draw me a picture of like,
I think nowadays, most people, I wouldn't be surprised if you could take every person that sells art in America, okay, so or say North America. I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of people, and maybe it's like still not the people making the big bucks, obviously, but the majority of the people are making money through they have a Patreon or something of that effect, and they draw pictures or people, commission them to draw pictures.
yeah, but when you're commissioning someone to draw something for you,
Right.
like, that's so much about you as a person. They like your style. They're commissioning you to do something. It's
They're
like
gonna have
a
AI that can
process.
do all this stuff.
I mean, I've worked with the AI, and it's really
Yeah, it's not there
not.
yet. I understand that, but it's getting there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, how about this?
So you're saying you're saying that the person who commissions someone to do a work, they're not really paying for the experience of working with that artist, and they're just
No, they
paying
want the picture.
specifically for the picture.
Right.
Okay.
If the person who's commissioning the picture could, I mean, part of the issue with
Have
AI
an
art
AI
too,
do it, right?
yeah, part of the problem with AI art too is that it's not very user friendly, and it still takes a long time, and it has to all be like on an online server. Okay, but the technology will reach a point where someone will be able
what do
to
you mean it takes a
download.
long time?
Like you do the prompt, and it like you sit there for like 2 minutes or whatever. Well,
Well, that's a long time. Okay.
no, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's not
yeah,
like
right.
2 minutes, but I mean,
Or 5 minutes or whatever it is. Okay, but
it's more like 30 seconds, or not even 30 seconds. I mean,
well, I guess it depends. Maybe if you're buying it, I don't know. I've never paid for any of these services. But there will be a time in the future, probably in the near future, where it will be very user friendly and it will be downloaded directly onto your computer, and you could just pay $20 for this program as opposed to having to pay for a service to do it. And yeah,
Right.
people would much, I would assume most people would much rather keep futzing with the AI as opposed to futzing with a human who's unreliable and picky and, has all the problems of dealing with a person versus a slave computer that will do whatever you say. It doesn't talk back to you. It doesn't care.
Sure. I mean, it depends. I mean, like I said, I've worked with Mid Journey. I could see there's like a learning curve on it, obviously. And I mean, you can give it prompts and it comes back with beautiful images. And a lot of times I think, I mean, that looks great. Not remotely what I wanted, but I mean, it looks cool.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're in a position where you just want something that looks cool, hell yeah,
Okay.
AI art is great. But I mean,
Well,
if
it's
you want
gonna,
a
I'm gonna say
specific,
this.
try to do your next thumbnail with Midjourney
Right.
and tell me how it turns out.
I'll tell you this. AI art is gonna be a much bigger thing to replace that field far before it replaces paralegals, which was your prediction. So,
Really?
yeah. What do you mean, really? It's already happening. There's
Well,
no,
I mean, it will replace them both, though.
yeah,
Obviously.
eventually, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's in no way gonna replace. I mean, art is about artists. People buy art because it's by somebody who's
Yeah, like the
a
big
famous
artists.
artist, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. The
exactly.
big artists. That's all money laundering anyway. Have you seen the
Well, I mean,
stable diffusion animation on
Beeple.
YouTube? That is beyond what any human create. No, I haven't seen that.
Stable Diffusion is a new one, and I just
Right.
looked in on it. I didn't really do it, but like I said, I mean, I gave this talk on the Sunday stream
Hmm.
about the difference between the two is the titties. Mid Journey is anti uh, breastages,
If
so
you could listen, if you can get an AI to do porn
yeah.
correctly, that's already like 50% of all internet artists' income lost right there. Okay.
Well, I,
That's already like a huge amount.
as someone who's looked at a lot of nice pictures, nice anime style pictures, but
Yeah.
never paid any artist for anything.
Hmm.
I don't. I guess the money comes in because you're commissioning something.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, Sitch, I just think you're discounting people's fondness of an experience of having someone develop something for them.
Okay. We'll see. Listen, we'll see. We'll see. JMac for $10 says yes. JMac for $10 says Young Yi is the anime protagonist and we're all just side characters. Feels bad, man. There you go. There you go. He does feel like a character from Mob Psycho, who's like part of Claw, who thinks that he's the protagonist of the world, so he can do whatever he wants. And he needs a little mob coon to slap some sense, some little Reagan to slap some sense in him.
That's never gonna happen.
I
That's
know.
never coming.
I don't know.
He's got too much money. He's just these people. They get a god complex.
Hmm. Why is a bitch got alive for $10 says who is more cringe, Kanye West or Roger Waters? Roger Waters is 1,000% more cringe than Kanye West. At least Kanye West has the fact that he seems crazy and has a manic episode that kind of like shields him. Roger Waters is just a fucking I hate America commie like piece of shit. So
Yeah,
and also,
it's a tie for me, but
well, for me and also, and I guess it's part of why I call Roger Waters more cringe. There's like very few people, except for like the Nick Fuentes crowd, who are listening to Kanye and are like cheering him on. He's like, "Oh, he's naming the Jew. Good job." Like that's not something that anyone in the mainstream is happy about. There's a lot of people that listen to Roger Waters, and they just, Roger Waters. In my opinion, Roger Waters should get like pretty, like not the same as Kanye, but he should get a lot of pushback. Like in Sitch's world, he would get a lot of pushback for denying the Uyghur Holocaust, and saying Taiwan is part of China, and just basically being a tanky fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really get that much pushback. So Hayden Dill, thanks so much for being a Free Will Seeker for 4 months. Says A-Team is pro Amber. They're into that kinky stuff. S-Class is, however, only into the best stuff. Feet pics.
Okay. Go S-Class with your feet pics.
I'm gonna be honest. I literally do not for the life of me understand foot fetishes. Like, it's just this. I don't get it.
Really?
It's strange. His feet do nothing for me sexually. I don't understand it. I just don't get it.
Did you watch House of the Dragon this week?
I didn't finish it. Does this have something to do with feet fetish?
Yeah, I guess you didn't watch it. I
only got through halfway through. I didn't know there was
I guess you need to finish it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Is someone like doing sexual acts with someone's feet or something in this?
Yes, it's kind of. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Really? Wait, who? Just tell me. Just tell me.
Alicent and the. Oh, it makes perfect sense.
And Crispin?
He's got a club foot.
Oh,
he's like, oh my
god.
He's like,
no!
he's like, oh my god, your feet are so perfect.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's even she even lets him rub one out in front of her.
Oh no.
She turns the other way so he doesn't get embarrassed. But
Allison and Strong, the cripple guy.
Yeah.
He's like looking up on her feet. Oh my god.
They actually shoot it very well. I mean, she has
it was tastefully done.
Well, no, she has there's like different layers of information disclosure going. Like there's the sock level of information. There's like the bare feet level of information. There's like the showing some leg level of information. And then there's like, I let you rub it out while I look the other way level of information.
Is the implication that like was she doing this with him even when the king was alive, or is this like a new thing?
We
don't know.
Yeah, they don't give it any explanation for any of it.
They're strong. It's the cripple
It's
who's
the
helping
clubfoot
Allison.
guy. Yeah.
People in chat to know. The guy who burned his father and brother alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
There literally is a foot fetish in House of Dragon.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
not kidding.
Something like that.
So S-Class, the clubfoot guy is S-Class.
There you go.
Now we know.
Hayden also says S-Class is the best class.
Yes.
And
And he
18
said-
equals Clown Factory.
What? Hayden.
There you go.
Harsh.
Sobek for $5 says AI can copy an existing style, cannot create a style. AI art doesn't appreciate and value. That's a death nail in my business, which is fine arts. Well, for right now, yeah. But I mean, what is an individual person's style except taking bits and pieces of other styles and making it, unique? And obviously a computer can learn to do that at some point. So
AI art is going to do are photographers, do you count photographers as artists? I don't know that AI art is going to replace photography.
Well, obviously it can't a photographer, you have to be a place to take a
Photography
picture,
has
right?
kind of, okay, so magazines usually have illustrations. Photography has kind of already replaced art.
Mm-hmm.
But, sometimes they do illustrations for magazine articles and stuff like
Yeah,
that. AI
that's-
could potentially replace that, sure.
But that's what's going to be what's going to really be totally
But you're
crazy
not-
is in like 10 years from now, you're going to be able to have AI generated art that's not going to look like art. It's going to look like an actual photograph. And so it's going to be like, no one's going to be able to trust whether anything's real because everything could be deep faked voice wise. All videos can be deep faked. All pictures can be deep faked. Like, how are you
Sure.
going to know what is real and what is not real at that point? It's going to be totally insane.
I think we're a ways off from me being able to say, AI, please make my comic book. So
I don't think we're that
please,
far away.
Please make book 2
We'll see.
right now. Here, I'll put the prompts in. It's called Supervillains Anonymous 2.
Sobek for $10 says, fine art isn't inherently a scam. It can be, X zombie formulism. But for the most part, it's like a Rolex. It appreciates in value and is a part of a moment in an art history. Yeah, I know.
All art is about the story, though. That's what I'm not communicating well to Sitch.
I understand what
I
you're saying.
mean, there's a copy of the Mona Lisa that's a forgery, and then there's the original Mona Lisa that Vincent Van Gogh painted. Not Vincent Van Gogh.
Leonardo
DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio painted the Mona Lisa. Yeah,
Leonardo da Vinci.
a Ninja
Okay.
Turtle. Yeah, Leonardo the Ninja Turtle painted the Mona.
Right. So, but the reason why one is worth more is because of the story, and we validate the
understand, I
story in
understand.
that. But
Right.
what makes AI art valuable? That they,
No, I still listen. I still think that even with AI art, there'll still be famous human human artists
Right.
out there that people will spend lots of money on. No one will spend. This is okay. Here's Sitch's prediction. Get
Right.
ready for this. Okay, there's going to be a famous artist 15 years from now, 10 to 15 years from now. There's going to be a massively famous human artist, and it's going to be a massive scandal because it's going to turn out that after they became famous, they started using AI to make all their art for them, and they got lazy.
Well, I think you should be
That's
honest.
going to be the scandal.
If you're using
Okay.
AI, I think you should be honest that you're using AI.
I know, but that's going to be the scandal. Famous artists are going to start using AI
If
to
you're-
make their own art.
If you're doing commission work and you're just basically typing into an AI
I know.
and
I'm
making
just-
some
that's
artwork
my
and
prediction.
passing
That's
that
what's
off
gonna
as
happen.
your own, that's obviously not good.
Right.
People
That's
want
true.
you
That
to,
value the value of the AI art will go up when the AI dies.
people
Yes.
want you to grind away
Right.
and actually do the work. Yeah.
I know. I understand. AI art will not be like people will like pay for someone to generate it until it's like so user friendly that anyone can do it. But it will not. AI art will not be at all monetarily valued the way that human made art is. Yes, I agree. Pearl, hey, thanks so much for the 1,000 NGN. Says Kanye is blowing my mind.
Mhm.
That's right. Soldoge for $2 says, so to update on Bayonet 3. Another unnamed source has come forward to reveal that the offer was not $4,000 flat for the voice artist. It was $4,000 per session, totaling to $20,000. But the voice actress Helena wanted 6 figures with residuals. By the way, Platinum had to crowdfund their last game. Well, wait a minute. That's super weird. Why the wait? I thought Bayonetta was a very popular game series. Why would they have to crowdfund their game? That seems weird. Isn't there like this weird thing that happens where some video game studios very kind of shadily crowdfund games that are like big games that should not be crowdfunded? Like that, like really Bayonetta 3 had to be crowdfunded? That seems fucked to me. That seems like a scam in my opinion, but I don't know. But obviously if they crowdfund the game, I could understand why they wouldn't have the budget for it, but then I could also understand that since it seems like a scam, and if they make a shit ton of money, the main voice actor should get paid a lot of money for it. So, and the whole thing seems shady as fuck. Dr. Dilla for $2 says, well, if this is a racist nation, surely they'll vote Kanye considering he's being openly racist. Who cares if he's black? We already had Obama. Surely the open racism would override that. That's a good point. Oh, look, it's our good friend, Academic Agent. Academic Agent for $2 says, you leave Kanye alone. I'll not have the Jewish media, libeling Kanye with the thing he's actually saying. Your dishonesty is only rivaled by your cowardice. That said, I noticed you haven't covered my response series. Will you please?
It's so true. That feels like the real Academic Agent there. That's Quackers.
There you go. I saw that he did a stream on Kanye on a DEF CON tweet. I never listened to it, but I'm super curious if I assume he's cheering this on.
Finally, Kanye's on our side.
Yeah, right.
He hates that though. He
hates what?
He's got a little bit of a Kanye thing going. He doesn't realize how
he doesn't realize how insane he sounds.
He doesn't. He's like He doesn't realize how anti-Semitic he sounds.
He does. He's just pretending. This is impossible.
You
for
think
him.
so?
He literally believes in the Jewish question. What do you mean?
Do you think Kanye understands how anti-Semitic he sounds?
Well, Kanye might not. Well, no, Kanye. I don't know what. I don't know. You asked me to figure out the mind of a manic, crazy person. Like I can't
Right.
tell you what's going on there. He literally thought that somehow his statements are gonna like bring Jews and blacks together. And I'm like, what the fuck world are you living in?
We can't drift off into this Ukraine talk, okay? I know I'm running for president and everything, but this podcast is about me walking back my tweet, okay?
Yeah.
This is about me
Okay.
repairing the black and Jewish community.
You have a guy who's so unhinged, who thinks that after making all these like very, very strong anti-Semitic comments, that he will never be able to walk back because he spoke too much about them. There's no vagueness to what he's talking about. And yet he thinks he's going to be president and thinks that fucking God speaks to him directly and that when he's president, God will basically tell him how to properly run the country. And he thinks that's a good platform to run on. Okay, this is not a sane, balanced person who has a good conception of reality.
Right, but I mean, I think Quackers might be in the same position, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't think Quackers thinks God talks to him, but
I mean, didn't Julius
Who
Evola
knows?
think God talked to him? I feel like
Julius
he did.
Evola did think that he had superpowers. Yes,
Yeah, so I mean,
Oh.
okay,
maybe Quackers thinks Julius Evola talks to him.
maybe.
The ghost of Evola. I lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, it's my mother.
Mhm.
Sitch's mom for $2 says, Sitch, Kanye was right. All of it. I was denying you your birthright. I just didn't know what media or bank to give you. But I've decided now you will be the secret boss of the Lotus Eaters. We'll talk more on Jew Wednesday.
Wow.
There you go. Apparently, my mom somehow has the ability to steal the Lotus Eaters away from Carl and give it to me. I do like Jew Wednesday, so that's a good one. Sodoge for $2 says Sitch is wrong on this. Never. I've never been wrong about anything. Our ability to spot deep fakes has outpaced the ability to make fakes. Also, people are freaking out about AI art because it's the Joker, quote, all according to the plan scene. AI was supposed to replace laborers. I think you're so wrong, Sodoge. I think you're incredibly wrong. Yeah, people can discern deep fakes now because they're still not perfected. They're still flawed, but they're just going to get better and better and better and better and better, and they're getting better so quickly that it's obviously going to be able to trick every person pretty easily, I would imagine, in the next 5 to 10 years. So I think it is optimistic if you think 5 to 10 years from now we'll be able to discern with the human eye deepfakes. They'll probably have to develop some kind of program. Like they probably will be able to develop a program that can figure it out. But I don't think you're going to be able to just look at it and say, "Oh, deepfake."
Yeah, but this has been going on in art for centuries. They
I'm not
have
talking about art. I meant make it look like Kanye's having sex with a goat or something. you know,
Sure,
like
okay,
the deepfake.
a deep fake,
Right,
but
right.
I don't know. It's pointless. You've dug in. You're not going to change your mind.
You're right. I'm not. Academic agent again from the $2 says, I also want to tell you that Kanye and I are dating now.
That's hilarious.
You hear that, Sitch? We're dating, and he's so handsome and talented.
Oh, no.
Is he looking, Kanye? Quick, honey, kiss me.
What's his lady abs look like?
That's true. That's true. What is the Kanye ab situation, academic agent?
Let us know.
So there you go. Academic agent's dating Kanye, and it's totally because he loves Kanye, not to try to make me jealous.
Right.
That's what I'm taking away from all this. Soldoge for $2 says Bayonetta is well known, but not that well selling. Oh, okay. Bayonetta 2 would not have existed if Nintendo didn't step in to get exclusivity. Platinum Games had to crowdfund Wonderful 101 Remaster, and the recent game Babylon's Fall was a flop. Oh, well, then maybe it did make sense for them to do it. I've never played any of the Bayonetta games. All I know is that I think the only time I've ever played anything Bayonetta is when I get chosen when I click random in Smash Brothers and I get Bayonetta. So, okay, maybe it makes more sense then. Maybe it makes more sense. Sobek for $5 says famous artists already use assistants as slaves to make most of their art, so practically close to AI art. It isn't a controversy, unfortunately.
True.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
if that's
very
true.
true.
I do think, even if it doesn't make sense on a rational level, I do think people that are fine with famous artists using their assistants to make the art will have a problem with the artist using an AI bot to make the art. That'll be my prediction. They'll still have a problem with that.
Wait a second here. What are you talking about?
That
Explain your position here.
people that will accept a famous artist
Hmm.
who's using human assistants to make their art,
Right.
they will still have a problem with a famous artist using an AI generator to create the art.
Okay. If
Because
I take a canvas and I just paint the canvas red
Mhm.
and I hang it in the gallery and it sells for millions of dollars, what is the difference in that in me using an AI to do my art?
Because people perceive wait, this is literally your argument. Part of the art and the reason it sells a lot is the story of the art.
Right.
And part of it is the adversity of the artist and the time they spent on it.
No, it's not.
If someone,
It's been decoupled from a time investment. It literally has.
okay, we'll
You
see.
don't
I'm
you don't
telling
know
you,
your art history then.
you're right. You're right. I don't know my art history.
Look,
I do know
the
I
most
do know my
famous-
human
The
psychology.
most famous piece by Marcel Duchamp is
Right.
a fucking toilet that they bought at a hardware store. Okay, it's called Fountain,
Okay, that's a
and
whole.
he signed the toilet and put it
Okay.
in the fucking show. Okay,
So-
what
so
is
like
the difference between
okay, wait,
going
wait,
to
wait,
a
wait.
hardware store and buying a toilet
Okay.
and using an AI prompt? What is
Okay.
the difference?
So shitty modern art or whatever that's called is like it's a whole nother thing.
Right.
I'm not talking about any of that stuff. Okay.
So
That's all-
you're not talking about famous works of art then. You're just
I'm
talking
not talking about
what
like famous, like the
what-
guy who pees in a bottle and puts a cross in it. Okay.
Right.
I'm talking about like
Piss
a
Christ.
picture.
Yeah.
that's-
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about like a
So
painting.
you're not
someone
really
makes.
talking about art. You're just
Okay.
talking about things that
Well, an
Sitch
AI
likes.
an AI obviously can't walk to the store and buy a toilet.
You're
okay.
not talking. You're not
I'm talking about painting. We're talking about like visual pieces
But
of
you're
art. What are
not talking about art. You're talking about
Okay.
things Sitch likes.
Yeah. Okay.
We've
Okay.
drifted into a
There you go.
different topic here.
Okay, so anyway, let me finish my statement and you can disagree with
Okay.
it. That's fine. Okay. People psychologically, and you should know this as a storyteller,
Mm-hmm.
we value our actions and other people's actions on the fact that we think it was difficult for them to do. This is the entire point of how storytelling, you don't want your main character to just be given the answer or given the answer to the question or given their goal by the story. You look at that and you say, I don't like the story. This is lazy. This is bad writing.
I disagree.
You want to see your character have to go through adversity. This is a big problem with Rings of Power. Galadriel doesn't actually change. She wants the queen to help her send troops to the Southlands, but nothing she does manifests that goal. It's
This is a
instead
bad
like
analogy. I don't know
it's
why
not a
we-
bad analogy. This is the perfect analogy. Okay. It's the writers implement a magic tree that changes the queen's mind. We don't like this writing because we want to see the characters actually strive and work towards something and then either succeed or fail. And that psychology goes to all aspects of humans' life. It's not just stories. And so I'm saying that idea is totally also going to affect people when they value art prices.
Mm-hmm.
So screw with it, don't screw with it, but whatever.
The amount of adversity that's gone, I don't think famous art is famous because of the amount of adversity that went into nothing in the modern art realm or even postmodern art realm looks at the amount of work that went into something as a metric.
The psychology of the idea that a human had to go and do something to produce this art
Mm-hmm.
is still playing heavily into that versus I typed words into a computer and it generated something instantly.
You're trying to say that by the criteria that you're setting up, the more time a person spends on something, the more it should be worth.
That's not even
close to reality.
That's not quite what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm just saying
what are you saying then?
What I just said, which is that if the people are going to feel differently about art, where a person had to go physically do a thing versus typing words into a keyboard and producing the art. And they're
Right,
always
yeah.
going to value the person doing the thing way more than the typing keywords
I disagree.
into a computer. Okay.
Depends upon the thing.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, it could be if you showed me two images, one that was someone toiled over for months and months and months, and it looked like a piece of shit, and then you showed me something somebody typed into an AI, and they show it's a beautiful picture. I'd be
but
like, okay,
right.
the beautiful picture wins.
Okay,
the thing that
obviously,
people the thing that people toiled
Wait.
over, wasted their time
Wait.
toiling over, sucks.
Right. Okay. Obviously, in
Like,
that
because I'm
scenario-
judging on
Wait.
aesthetics, which
Wait.
is a
Wait,
completely
wait,
different thing.
Wait. Obviously, okay.
Okay,
I'm
well,
talking the context of the conversation.
I
we're
just
talking about is-
destroyed your argument.
No, you didn't. The context, because
I
it's like
utterly
okay.
annihilated your. I
No, you
nuked
didn't.
your argument from orbit.
No, you didn't. Let's not pull a Vosh here. Okay.
Your
Let's not
argument
pull-
was.
Let's not pull a Vosh.
Look, I
okay?
didn't say.
Let's not.
I didn't
let me
say
finish.
your art would look
Stop
different
interrupting
in
me.
Mexico. Okay, I
Let
didn't
me
pull a
finish.
Vosh here.
Let me finish, Mr. Aqua. Okay. Obviously, I assumed that you understood in the context of our conversation. I'm talking about the top 1% of people that generate art. I'm not talking about you going on the street or you having your 10-year-old kid who draws, his family with 3 extra legs and 2 extra heads that you put on your refrigerator, and you're comparing that to an AI bot. We're talking about famous art that will be sold by like the top 1% of artists in the world.
Right.
So that issue that you're talking about is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like
I mean,
comparing,
but
garbage stick figures to an AI generated picture.
one of the top sellers though is Pablo Picasso, and Pablo Picasso didn't. I mean, he
That's
did
because
not
people like
put.
his style.
Yeah, but he didn't put a lot of effort into it. You
How do
can't
we- how
say
do you
that he
know-
put a lot of
how do you know
effort into
that?
it. Look,
He didn't put a
you
lot of
look
effort
at
into his
look at a
art?
Pablo Picasso next to a Dolly.
I couldn't.
Dolly
I'll be honest,
Dolly
I could not-
obviously
I could not draw either. So
Dolly obviously put a lot of time and effort into his paintings. Picasso didn't. Like,
Okay.
but you,
I don't know
mean,
if that's true, but
you judge him on completely different.
You're- okay.
Like the amount of time that goes into the work is not really. I mean, it can be a factor, but
Okay.
it's usually
I
not
just-
the decisive factor.
I just think you're just so wrong. People are going to. You're fixating on this. like,
some people are.
You're fixating on like I'm saying that there's some specific criteria for like X amount of hours spent on the art produces X amount of money for the art. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that on a very base psychological level, human beings, for the most part, when talking about top artists, not like hobos on the street or me doing my shit stick figure drawings, will always value art more that a human has produced over an AI.
Well, that is true, but not.
Well, that's what do you mean? That's what I've been saying this whole time.
But
You've been
that's
fighting me with.
Well, no, for the story reason, not for the amount of time reason, though.
Okay, whatever.
Not the amount of time is not the decisive factor here at all.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why you even if you're willing to acknowledge that the amount of time spent on a piece of artwork is irrelevant, then I guess we can move on. But
Okay.
you're making the opposite argument you were making the other day about
what?
how money somebody works for is worth the same amount of money as money somebody's given just without doing the work.
Wait a minute. I said in that conversation, I said psychologically it's not, but pragmatically it is.
Okay.
So we both agree on this, and this is what you were saying with the art. If you have like someone makes that painting of like the all red canvas, and the computer makes the same painting of the all red canvas, people are going to value the one the famous person made versus the computer, even if it's literally the same thing.
Yes.
So anyway, where are we?
Who was the original super chat that got us on this?
Sobex.
So it was Sobek that started this. Sobek. Don't be a Luddite, okay? This is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Adam is all like, Sitch, we have to keep the video under 2 hours. And then he wants to like...
Not my fault you keep fucking arguing with me. Jesus.
Armageddon for $2 says, will thigh gaps still exist in the future? Oh, yes. The AI will be all up on the thigh gaps.
Well, thigh gap is going to be perfected.
Yes, right. So back for another $10 says, a forger made masterworks such as Van Gogh What's interesting is that the works plummeted in value when it was found out. I think the monkey in us prefers the original no matter the tech or skill. That's a good point.
Yeah,
That is a good
because of
point,
the
yeah.
story. Look, one painting was touched by Van Gogh. The other painting was touched by a fraudster. I mean, it's just
Right. But that's my point. Like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this painting was touched by a computer algorithm." You know, like no one's gonna care.
Mhm.
Anyway, CT says you're wrong about Picasso. I don't know enough about my art history to comment, but
what is it? I mean,
about you saying that he didn't spend a lot of time on stuff or something.
Picasso did thousands of works. I mean,
Oh my God.
I'm sure he spent a lot of time on some of them.
You have to bring up this meme that Sammy G just made.
Oh no.
Some weird guy for $2 says search AI program wins art contest and please discuss. Oh, so it's already happened. An artwork made by an artificial intelligence won first place at the Colorado State Fair's fine art competition last week. Well, there you go, Adam.
Yeah, I know the story.
There you go.
Hold on. What was the super chat again?
That the AI won an art contest.
Search AI program wins art contest. Discuss,
Yeah.
please. Is that it? Is that what we're up
Right.
to? Some
Yeah.
weird guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know. Somebody used an AI to make a piece of art, submitted it, won the contest. Everyone got super pissed about it because it was the best look, but I think they got pissed because there was like he said this was done by Midjourney. Like he didn't lie about it, but none of all the judges were, fucking boomers, whatever. They didn't know what was up. So yeah, and I didn't read the article more than that, so I don't know what more to discuss, but
right.
I mean, I
do think
said,
it's
it
shitty
depends
to
upon the
enter-
criteria.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming you're going to see most art contests going forward are going to say no AI, generated art. Like, maybe they'll have their own, AI generated art contest, but it's kind of shitty. Kind of shitty the guy to do, in my opinion.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do think so.
I mean, he didn't lie about it. He just said.
Well, I'm assuming when the art was given into the contest at first, it was not. They didn't anticipate someone to give AI art. I would imagine.
Right.
The people who did the contest. So
I would like to see the other images just to because
it's good art though. The AI art looks very pretty.
If there's lots of different ways that you can judge art, right? You can judge it on aesthetics. You can judge it on cultural impact. You can judge it on emotional resonance. It's interesting to me because what are they judging on? It seems like whether or not a human made it is that figures in, but I would think it figures in lower down on the hierarchy.
Right. Okay.
Like if
I don't think it does.
Let's say that the AI looks like a real doll.
Yeah.
Now is it acceptable?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying if it was like a robot that walks around that's making it?
The complexity of what we're doing.
You're right. You are so right. Listen, you're right. If there's some super hot robot that's making art, people are going to feel very different about it.
They are.
Then if it was just like a computer program.
So you're really judging it on how it makes you feel.
I'm saying this is how everyone's going to feel about it. What do you mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Right.
I get it. People were pissed when Duchamp put the toilet in the show too. They were very upset about it.
I bet they were. They should be because it's really stupid.
All I'm saying is that fucking urinal is in every art history book in America right now. Okay. And people are pissed about the AI right now, but I'm with the fucking history books.
Listen, like 80% of modern art now is fucking trolling. Okay. I'm not sure how that's gonna fit with the
You are exactly right because that's the story.
Yeah.
That's the story. Yes. Truth. The reason we're talking about the AI program that wins the art contest is because of the story.
Right.
None of us have even seen the art, but we all know about it. Well, I'm sure some of you saw the art. So.
Right. Hey, it's Hot Diggity Demon who gave us $10. Thanks so much, Max. Says, I hired 3 artists to draw posters for me, and all 3 didn't do a very good job. I used AI to make the posters, and they came out obscenely better. So clearly, I value the AI more.
I'm with you 100%, Max. Yes.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter your posters for What is Fascism. They look great. I didn't know they were AI generated. So.
Oh no! Do you hate Max? Do you feel like Max defrauded you?
I don't care. Well, you're confusing. I don't give a fuck about art. Wait. I don't give a fuck about art in the first place. I don't give a shit if AI art replaces art. I'm saying that people that do care about art will care. Okay, I don't personally give a crap about any of this stuff.
If you don't care about art, why are you so qualified to even talk about this?
I'm just predicting how I think people will react to the thing psychologically.
Sitch's argument is, I don't give a fuck about art, but let me tell you how people who do care about art think.
Okay.
It's like
I'm only allowed to stay in my lane.
They're basically not me.
Look at Adam silencing me. Jeez.
I'm not telling you to stay in your lane. I'm just saying.
That is what you're saying, yeah.
I'm not saying that. Listen, you talk about art as much as you want.
Okay.
From your perspective.
Okay. Bring up the meme picture.
No, I will not. This stream is ending, okay?
Bring up the meme picture that Sammy made. It's hilarious.
How do I even find it?
I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. How do I even find it?
Sammy made this? This looks like...
Yeah.
This looks like CT, though.
Well, CT's in the picture.
Oh, okay.
Sammy, knocked us out, super quick.
Are we done with Super Chats?
We're not done with Super Chats.
This meme is the last thing you will ever see on the live
No, bring
stream.
it up while we're doing Super Chats.
I'll bring it up when we're done with Super Chats.
No, bring it up now. Don't be a bitch. Sobek for $5 says, I criticize Adam, I'm based. I criticize Sitch, I get banned. More curious. Perhaps Kanye's onto something. Wait, who? I didn't ban you. Who banned Sobek?
I didn't ban anyone.
Did
Sobek
Mods,
get
don't
banned?
ban Sobek. What are you talking about?
He gave us 10 Super Chats. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, what the fuck? Nobody banned Sobek. Maybe they ban you by accident. There's a sex bot that has a name, Sex Finder, that was banned. So.
Oh, they accidentally got him.
Maybe. Sammy says, I took CT's pic for her head. So that is a CT picture. It's so Sammy made this composite. It's me and CT playing Guess Who. And I say, do they know what this game is? And CT says yes. And then you see me flipping down the Adam.
This is pretty hilarious.
This is
I instantly know how the game is played just from this one meme.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's hilarious because sometimes we just learn very interesting things about me or Adam.
Of course. That's a whole...
And,
that's what's great about this.
And learning that Adam doesn't know what Guess Who is some very interesting Adam lore.
Part of the fun is, too, Adam trying to not let anyone know the thing. Come on, I did my best to hide it, but I guess I was outed.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what the game Mousetrap is?
I've heard of the game Mousetrap at least, but I've never.
You've never played it though,
yeah.
But you know what it is.
Of
You're
course,
aware of its existence.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the game Candyland is?
Of course. Come on, talk.
Clue.
Clue, of course. Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of things that most people would know.
Hearts was my game. I love to play cards.
Right. Well, that's funny because most people nowadays, the only reason I know about Hearts is because back when I was very young and computer technology was shitty and you didn't have a lot of good games, Hearts was one of the card games that would come on your Windows 95 computer.
I remember. I played 1,000 games of Hearts on the... You
right.
think I want to shoot the moon when I'm playing with people? You think I stopped that strategy because I'm playing against a computer? Hell no. It's just as fun to play against a computer trying to shoot the moon.
Right.
The computer figures it out sooner than the people usually do. They're like, I see what this guy's doing.
Right.
And they start throwing out a heart early on.
Really? Okay. Actually, yeah. I remember I had some I had some actual game that was like 10 different like card games, and it was like with wacky pictures and faces and like animations and shit. I forget what it was called though. I played the
Mhm.
crap out of that game. My family got really big into playing Hearts because it was like my mother, father, my brother. So there's four and me. So there's four of us. So yeah, we played Spades. Spades is fun too. Sam Josh for $2 says, "What's Sitch take on why Ye got booted from the banks?" So I said, I guess you missed. I said earlier in the stream that if Kanye got booted from the banks for the tweet, the DeathCon Jew tweet, I think that's super fucked up. I think banks. I mean, I'm not even in favor of banks, kicking off Nick Fuentes or any of those people. I don't think banks and these sort of financial instruments should have anything to do with politics. I think as
Yeah.
long as the person is not breaking the law and they're operating under the legal free speech, which, people that you don't like who say racist, bigoted shit are, I do not think that any of those businesses should be able to discriminate against these people. I actually think it should be illegal for banks to not, to discriminate against people just because they're racist or bigoted or whatever.
I totally
Um,
agree. Yeah. Next
that
thing you
being
know, they're
said,
shutting off your electricity. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
exactly. But that being said, when I did a Google search on this, I found accidentally that there was something where months ago Kanye was talking about how he was pulling all of his money. This is like before his comments. He said like months ago he was pulling all of his money out of his Chase account because he was mad that the CEO of Chase wouldn't like have a dinner with him or something, even though he put in $100 million or whatever it was. Um, and so that makes me wonder if the thing with Chase is completely unrelated to his tweet, or maybe they were just using that as like good timing to capitalize on already closing his account. Because if he withdrew all his money from the account, which he said he did months ago, then they're gonna close your account. Like that's how banks work. You can't just have an account with no money in it.
What?
So I'm
Come on, I've
curious. I'm
done this for
curious.
years. I have an account with no money. What are you talking
So
about?
that's not true. So I'm curious if either it's completely unrelated or it's just Chase trying to capitalize on something they were already going to do about an unrelated issue, just because Kanye was getting negative press at this moment. Electric Elephant for 10 Aussie bucks says, "I'm seriously blackpilled on AI, the end of the human experiment. I only hope for viral AI that destroys all other AI. Would a world with no AI be worse? Humans were not evolved for this." Well, I don't buy the whole Terminator thing because we're going to basically merge ourselves with the AI. So it's all going to be for naught anyway.
Do you think the AI is going to do like animated movies? Do you think?
Of
I
course.
mean, a lot of the artwork, a lot of the work for artists is doing visual effects for movies and stuff like that. Like also doing set design and costume design. Those are all artist jobs. You think those are going to be
Well,
taken
it's a
over
little
by
different
AI
because
or?
eventually there'll be someone who can try to create an algorithm that will figure out like every element of a movie.
Mhm.
But that's a little bit more difficult than you know what you want to look like, and then you get like I think what will happen in movies is they'll still have an artist who creates the original models and the look and the style of everything, but then they'll have the AI like do all the hard work in
Mhm.
between, essentially.
We have like a robot Hitler character in our comic. And I mean, Sitch warned me about this. He's like, dude, you're making it so detailed. You're gonna have to draw that over and over again, which is
I did warn you about that.
which is a lot of work. Okay. But if I went to Mid Journey or one of these AIs and I said, listen up, I need robot Hitler, punching us.
Mhm.
It's not going to be able to do that. Like it's not going to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
right now.
Right.
I'm talking about 5-10 years from now. It's going to
So
easily.
you're saying 5 or 10 years? Well, I mean, sign me up. Like our book 4 will be out in
There you go.
in a month. Sign me
Th-
up.
This is what they'll do. Okay. They'll have someone will make like the original 3D character model,
Mhm.
and you'll put it into the AI, and then the AI will be able to generate that in every possible scene you'd ever want it. Like once you put in the original model.
Sure. Okay, but I still have to build the model or pay an
You'd
artist to build the
at
model.
first, right. But
Well,
then
that's
eventually it's going to
still
get
then I'm
it's
still
still
paying an artist to build the model thing.
yeah, but there's still lots of extra like that's still a lot of work that goes out of the hands of artists.
No, I want to say to the AI, make the 3D model, you piece of shit. What are you fucking lazing out for?
Well, that's going to happen too. That's just going to happen after.
No, I don't know.
I mean, look at Marvel. Okay, there were like the CG in the first She-Hulk episode looked really good, and then in later episodes it looked like dog shit because they were probably rushed and they were just trying to, they didn't have the time to make it look good.
Right.
But if you have an AI that can do, like, once they have the She-Hulk model, you have the AI that can do all this stuff. You like it's going to be able to do it so much faster than a human. And it just does it, 24/7, and you don't have to pay it anything.
She-Hulk would have been a million times better if they just animated the mouth just to open
Properly,
like randomly, not just so it wasn't even synced at all.
There was something weird going on with her mouth. Like, I don't know why they couldn't get her mouth to move
If they
properly.
just had anime mouth where it was like
see.
open, like it
It's
just
like a
skipped
flap.
from frames.
Just a mouth flap, yeah. Right.
That would have actually been funny.
That would have been funny.
That show is so bad.
Harker Hayes. Hey, Harker, don't give us money, Harker. Stop it. Stop it.
She wants to weigh in on our talk about art, obviously.
For $5 says, just saying hi to the boys. What if our teeth were flaccid and only hard when we were hungry? Enjoy that cursed thought. Back to homework kisses. That is a horrifying thought. Oh my God. Could you imagine if your teeth were like deflated and then when you got hungry, they went like chink, 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 like a vampire? Oh, that'd be disgusting.
Like sexual arousal when you get hungry, your teeth get hard. So everyone knows you're hungry. You're like, oh, you must be hungry.
You must be hungry. His teeth are
I see
out,
your
yeah.
teeth.
Right.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, no, that is cursed.
That's gross.
Thank you for sharing that with all of us, Harker.
Dr. Diller for $5 says, I need beach-esque paintings for my beach house. I can pay an artist $80 for a seagull, or AI can do it for free. I'm not paying that artist. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
and
there you go.
and not only that, like Max said, the AI will do it better. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Why would you want to pay an artist to do a bad job when you could pay an AI to do a great job?
Dr. Diller for $5 says, art for the purposes like a concept art and display pieces are about to become a passion project because it will be cheaper to use AI. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the AI excels in doing concept, doing the character design stuff, which I think the character design is, I mean, that's fucking hard shit. As someone who's had to do a bunch of character design for our comic, that's hard.
Hot Diggity in the chat says, why did Sitch just say a racial slur 6 times? Listen.
What'd you
I'll
say?
not be silenced by the Jewish media.
What'd you say? I didn't even
I
hear
said
it.
chink, 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 chink for the teeth sound effect.
Oh, did you really?
I'll not be silenced by the Jewish media. Okay, I'm gonna show the truth to the world. I'm gonna show them. Listen, Max. I can't be racist against Chinese people because we all know that Jewish people are the Chinese people. Okay, we all know that the lost 12 tribes of the Chinese were originally the Jews. So it's my people. I can't be racist against my own people.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm skeptical.
I'm a god for $2 says Kanye doesn't want the $12 a month service fee. That's right. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I just got a notice. I got to check my bank account. They did that thing where they're like, we're changing your checking account, so you might get like charged like $20 a month or something. I was like, what the fuck? Get out of here.
Make the joke. I can't make it because it's racist, but you can make it.
What?
Oh, never.
I wasn't
mind.
gonna make a Jew joke out of that, but I guess
You-
the Jewish banks are trying to get me.
No,
Yeah.
that's.
But
I was.
listen, I'm a
think-
fellow Jew, so what the fuck?
No,
friendly
Kanye-
fire. Friendly
listen.
fire. Yes.
Kanye is saying that he's Jewish.
Right.
Okay. There's the joke.
Gotcha. I understand.
Ron Howard for 3 months.
Thank you so much for being Free Seeker for 3 months. Says, what's the difference between using AI and creating something and using your eye to take a photograph? Aren't both of these art? They can be. I'm just saying people are going to psychologically perceive it different.
Rob.
Now, Adam
You're
says
on
wrong,
it.
but here's the thing. Here's what could happen. You could have that the generation of kids that grow up when AI art is already big they might not perceive it psychologically different because they grew up with it, but the people that like our age and younger who grew up in the time before AI art will psychologically, for the most part, conceive it differently. So something you agree with me, Adam. You just disagree with the reason why.
Well, Rob, I'm so glad you did this chat because this is exactly right. What's happening with the photograph? What the artist is curating, right? Selecting the image.
So when photography came out, artists were worried that photography would take over art.
Well, it has a lot. I mean, obviously.
And it has to some degree, but obviously there's still times where you want art and not a photograph.
Right. Yes. But the thing is, the art of photography is composition. It's selecting the image. Yeah.
Right.
How is that different than AI?
Yeah, exactly.
You're just selecting the image. Like the AI even gives you like 4 different choices. Like which one of these is, am I getting warmer? Am I getting closer here?
Rotisserie Protocol for $5 says, Sitch, this makes my 90th dollar towards the channel. When I hit 100, I want my wrench. Are we still doing that?
I don't know. If you want to give Rotisserie
Dominate
a wrench.
Artards send their regards. There you go. There you go.
Oh, you cut out a bit. You might want to reread it.
I said, also AI will never dominate art. Artards will send their regards.
Okay.
There you go.
What's a artard?
The the rags.
Oh
Rags
yeah.
team. Yeah.
It is the artards. That's right. Are we done? Come on,
Almost.
we can't go into 4 hours.
And listen, Rags chose that himself. Okay, we didn't choose that for him.
Anything over 3 hours, I don't change.
Well, this is literally your fault. Okay, but anyway, Dill's flying AI elephant for $2 says, look up the toilet that flew on and was dropped by a Sky Raider on a mission to the Mekong Delta in South Vietnam. It beats museum pieces any day, only if it could drop a wrench into my lap. S-Class is king. A-Team is corny. There you go. I didn't know anything about this toilet, so there you go. We'll check it out.
Cool.
Anyways.
All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks for arguing with us.
Rotisserie says, you better still be doing the wrenches. Listen, maybe just for you. Make an exception. Okay. Because you're keeping track, so I do appreciate that.
Has Rotisserie, are they a regular in the chat?
Yeah.
I mean, give it to him now. Why are you being so stingy?
He's $10 away. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your incredibly generous donations. Thank you for coming with us on this journey to watch Kanye go off the rails.
Yeah.
Hope to see you all. I don't know if we're going to do another show this week, but we'll see. If not, we'll see you on Sunday.
Take care. Bye-bye.